Just a quick asthma pump.
No, that's fine. So you're healthy then?
This is a new pump, right, and it's so good.
Yeah.
I think it actually helped me finish the spine.
Okay, so welcome to Active Ideas All Ears. I'm Abby, and today we're interviewing our very own Kingsley Phillips.
Oh, hello there.
And why are we interviewing you? What have you done over the last week, Kingo?
The full winter spine. I've got it done. I've got it done.
He's gone and done it. And we didn't, I don't know, I think we've both just been laughing that we didn't think this day was going to come. Not because we didn't think that, we thought you'd die.
Yeah.
I thought you'd die.
My parents said their goodbyes. My friends,
Yeah.
the family said their goodbyes.
And for anyone listening, I mean, I think a lot of people do now know what the winter spine is because it got so much, you might not be aware of this, but it made the news.
Yeah.
Like, it was in newspapers.
Okay.
We were down in Pembrokeshire over the weekend and our
Yeah.
friend's stepdad was like, oh yeah, I read about that in the paper.
Do you think it's because like we had the stormy weather,
Yes.
and then it's like, is the spine still getting cancelled? And it's
Yeah.
like, nah, we're all heading up there, mate.
Exactly. And it was actually on Sky News. It was like a picture of one of the front runners coming out of the storm, and it was like even through the storm, it's been completed. So a lot of people, I think the spine got a lot of coverage this year. But for anyone listening that doesn't know what the spine race is, would you like to explain?
So, for the full winter spine race, you start off at Needale and you follow the Pennine Way all the way up to the Scottish border, Kirkyatham.
Which is how far, Kingsley?
It's a disgusting 268 miles long, so it doesn't sound too bad, really, until you're on it. And then you're looking at your watch, and one thing I realised as well is like a mile on the Pennine is not the same as a mile on the road. Holy hell.
Yeah, and I was having a look at the, it's really inspired me watching it. I was like, oh, maybe I'll sign up for the spine race. And I had a look at how they advertise it, and it's daytime temperatures a high of like 8 degrees, and nighttime temperatures, it was minus 10, I think, is what they bandwidth it, 0 to minus 10 degrees through the night.
It was funny being at the checkpoints. Part of their duty of safety is that'll tell you what the temperature is out there and the weather forecast is, because you're about to head up onto, Crossfell or something like that. And yeah, when they'd kind of hit you with, so yeah, by the way, you're expecting a little snowstorm, it's gonna be minus 16 and, light showers of rain. And you're like, what? Can you say that again? And like, they'd repeat it, and like, you'd crap yourself a little bit.
So a race along the Pennine Way, 268 miles. How do you get into a race like this? If you want to apply, like, talk us through signing up. What was signing up for the winter spine like?
So if you want to sign up, and you've spoke about this now, Abby, so I'm expecting big things here.
I've got 5 years.
In a couple of weeks, Montane and Beyond the Ultimate and the Spine will put out basically registration to sign up for this race. Believe it or not, this is a really kind of hard race to get into. There's only like 150 to 170 spots, and they sell out, I would say, within 2 minutes. So if you want a spot, you are on registration page trying to get your Oasis tickets, literally 9 o'clock in the morning. You got your iPad open, your laptop open, and that's what you're going to do. You can't just be any average Joe in terms of your running history. The Spine team will want to see that you've completed at least, I believe, 100 miles.
80
miles, so you qualify. And it can't just be like you've ran around a track or something. You need to show that you've gone and done like a trail ultra, and you're not going to basically die out there, because it's all like fun and games, but you could actually die out there if you pushed it too far or got yourself into like a bad situation.
Yeah, 100%. And they also advertise that another way in, you either have to have done the 80 miles or one of their other events, because the spine race, from my understanding, now that I'm such a spine fan, is that there's actually 5 events that took place over the weekend, ranging in a distance of 46 miles for the sprint distance, right up to the 268. So there's distances in it for everyone, but I think it's quite nice that they offer that introduction. It's quite a brutal introduction, but you can do their shorter distance and then ultimately qualify or have that goal in mind, which I think the coverage online showed that quite a few athletes, like, it wasn't their first spine race, or they'd done the Challenger, or they'd done the sprints. Yeah, it's exciting.
I was going to say, a lot of people see it as a series, and I think that's exciting that they want to tick it off. So you don't just do the winter spine, you can either build it up, or you can start with the winter spine and tick off the other ones. And they've got the whole summer series as well, so you can really get invested in it if you want to.
Exactly. And then when you're signed up, so you've got your place, it's happening you're in. Looking at the kit list online, I was blown away. There's like, if anyone hasn't had a look, I would have a nosy in the race pack online because it's
public,
really comprehensive, and like they break it down. It looked like when you do school science lessons and you had to do like risk analysis for your experiment. It was like, what are you doing? What are the risks? And it was the same with the kit. It was like, this is the kit, this is the parameters, these are the advisories. And then it had like the don'ts as well. It had literally everything. So how do you even begin to look through a list like that and think about what to pack?
I would say that was more stressful than the actual training itself. Honestly. And funny enough, I mean, we'll get into my chafing issues, but the pants that I stayed in for 3 days because I was too scared to take and peel them off were the ones that I'd bought like a week before. Because you're just kind of like grabbing kit and you're looking at the forecast thinking, hang on, I've got 2 pairs of like really waterproof gloves. I've just checked the forecast. Maybe I need to hop on sports shoes and sort myself out. It was just absolute chaos. Yeah, you have to kind of just trust your gut on that one and make sure you've ticked the kit list, which can be frustrating, finding that balance between what's right for the spine team and what's right for Kingsley. And to be fair to the spine team, they do a really good job of making sure you've got all the kit you need to be safe out there. So it can be really frustrating to really dial in that kit. But at the end of the day, what was good is I went through my kit a million times. And by the end of it, whilst I was on that starting line, I truly knew every single piece of kit in my bag. And I knew how to use it. I knew when I was going to use it. And yeah, it was good.
We saw the size of those bags, and I think we followed along with the online YouTube series that they did. And the first thing we noticed was day one when you left from Edale. Like we were sat on the sofa and we said, look at the size of those bags. Like they are day sacks. They're not like your 8-litre vest.
Yeah, you're
like,
selling them an 8-litre Sense Pro vest.
They were massive. Like we were so shocked. And a lot of people had roll mats like on the outside and sleeping bags. And I did notice that on the kit list.
Part of the kit list, you have to carry a mat.
You have to carry a mat. Do you have to carry a sleeping bag out there?
I had a sleeping bag in my bag as well.
But like, how big? Like for anyone watching this, like how big was that packed down? Because to me, in my mind, a sleeping bag is like this big.
So I had a nice, I had the Ramp Mythic Ultra, really cool sleeping bag. And I'll tell you what, it works because the weather was horrendous. I was at St. Francis Church, which a lot of people who've done the spine will know. It's like a typical like sleep spot.
I saw a lot of pictures
of that. in the church. And it was fucking freezing in there. But yeah, climbing into my little Ramp Mythic Ultra, it is literally like that big. But it puffs out, climbed in, and it was one of the coziest nights, honestly.
Amazing.
We got some real cool shots of that as well. There was the photographer guy there at the time. Yeah, with the sleeping bag and stuff, it's a lot of money. That's the only thing. Yeah, obviously trying to get a good sleeping bag that's effective and small. You're spending a lot of dollar.
And we were chatting just before this as well, laughing about a few things that I'd sort of seen online. And I have to ask you, eye protection. It was noted on the kit list. And then I see this Instagram video of you wearing what genuinely looked like swimming goggles. I have to know, were they swimming goggles?
Fucking win, like, yo guys, welcome to Active Ideas.
What were they? You looked like a dog in a sidecar on a like motorbike. Like, what was on your face? What were they?
So yeah, you need eye protection. I had the minimum requirement. I'll be out there. I'll be honest.
But were they swimming goggles? Is that what they were?
No, yeah, you won't pass with swimming goggles. But I tell you what, they'd probably be more fucking effective than what I had. They are workman's goggles, effectively.
Okay, yeah.
There's a bit of a grey area there because not all workman goggles will pass. But basically, they'll cover not just your eyeball, but the ceiling as well, so no wind can get in from the side. And they've got a strap on, so you can strap them on pretty fucking tight.
Yeah, I saw that. You looked like something.
Yeah, so I've learnt some lessons of the goggles, that's for sure.
And I think when it comes to kit as well, for running, the first thing I would think is footwear. And again, like I saw a lot of comments on your social media. There was an update saying that your trainers had fallen apart. There was an update to say your feet had swollen so big that they didn't fit. And did anyone have a pair of size 10 passing the Pennine Way? Like, what's the story with footwear? Like, how did you plan? What did you take? What fell apart? Like, just dive into that for us, really.
So the genuine story of footwear, and I'm not a sponsored Innovate athlete at all, but they have sent me shoes to review. But genuinely, thank you, Innovate, because so this was another last minute decision, and it just proves sometimes you've just got to trust your gut.
Yeah.
I had the trail talons in my car just because I always leave them there. They're a shoe that kind of will fit every scenario, and I just leave them in my boot in case I'm going to go for a run or something. And I got to Edale and I looked out at the weather and thought, I looked at my Medtalons, I hadn't really trained them too much. I looked at my Mount to Coast T1s, what I trained in quite a bit. I planned in starting in those, and I just felt like they didn't have that aggressiveness that I needed for the crazy blizzard snowstorm that I could see up in the mountains. So yeah, I got the Trail Talon out the car and I didn't want to take them off. They were absolutely perfect. I didn't slip at all in them really. Obviously in ice I was putting the spikes on, but a lot of people were falling all over the place. I had great stability, great comfort, but they did eventually get torn apart by my ice spikes. Yeah, literally, like the sides were flapping around, and they've seen the Arc now, I think, and they've definitely seen UTS 100 miles, so I've had the shoe probably a bit too long.
Probably a little bit too long because UTS 100 and the Arc are both 100-mile races.
Yeah, and I've trained in the shoes a lot.
So we probably need to look at some different ones now.
Hey man, I'm not a part of the Green Runners, but I do like to use my kit. You
Yeah,
know?
that was well and truly you. So when the shoes fell apart, what did you do? Did you just carry on, or did you have a shoe swap? Is there a drop bag system?
So one thing I could feel going from, I believe checkpoint 1 to 2 was the metatarsal, the above my left foot, it was popping up and down. And I can't explain what it was. And I was thinking, is this my race over? And the craziest thing about the human body is it did stop popping up and down. Whatever was going on down there, which didn't feel good, it stopped doing it. I think it is I had my gaiters on, and the gaiter hook will hook on your laces, right where my inflamed metatarsal was. And then also the spikes, when you put the Atrax on, it goes right over that. And I think I had too much pressure in one spot.
It just didn't.
It just didn't. So basically my foot doubled in size, and then I went to go put on the mud talons next after I realised my trail talons were fucked.
And who does the mud talon?
That's Innovate as well, and I couldn't get my feet in them. I'm thinking, oh my fucking god, I'm screwed.
So you did it barefoot is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Well, I had one last pair of shoes in my bag, and again, I went fully Innovate for this, and non-sponsored. This last pair of shoes I bought with my own money. It was the new Trailfly V2s.
We love the Trailfly.
I love the Trailfly. The version 2 that's come out recently. The Max as well, which has got cushioning. I went for 9.5. And I tell you what, they're a bit more of a narrower shoe than what you'll get in the Trail Talons. But yeah, they fit like a glove, and they got me to the finish.
Oh, unreal. So Innovate is the way to go.
For me, it seems, just a genuine, honest observation. They fit the Spine Race quite well.
And did you have drop bags? Was that a thing?
Yeah, so we had the drop bags, and it was just full of Innovate.
So where do they go along? How does it work with the course?
Yeah. So there's an awesome guy called Nige Burke, and if you do any of the summer spines or winter spines, you'll bump into lots of these characters. You've got like a John Barber making noodles at Greg's Hut. You've seen the signs, "Nout but fucking noodles here."
That's so fun.
Little things like that. Yeah, a dude called Nige had a team that was running all the bags. So when you get to your checkpoint, they'll chuck you your bag. I was running 224. My bag gets dumped in front of me by the awesome and wonderful volunteers. And then you'll do your faffing, your eating, your switching kit. You're getting your sleeping bag out to go have a nap. And yeah, as soon as you've kind of done your kit check, because you can't leave until you've been kit checked again. Every checkpoint, they're making sure you're not going to die out there and that you're being safe and genuine with your kit. As soon as you pass, it gets chucked back on the lorry, and they sort out the logistics.
And they ferry it.
Yeah, take it to the next one.
So you've got your kit bag, and then you've got your drop bag, and your drop bag, are you limited on like weight or?
Limited on weight, you get 20 kg, and that sounds good, but that was really tough. When you start incorporating the food and the gels, a couple of pairs of shoes, really tough.
That's crazy. And a lot of the runners as well, and we've already looked online and 100% are ordering the OMM bags on the front.
The pouches.
Yeah, so clever.
Yeah, they're
because
good.
You can just reach in and it looks like they clip on all four corners. So they're
awesome.
not like flapping, there's no weight disruption.
They're really
but what
fantastic.
a great idea to bring some of the weight forwards as well.
Yeah, no, I saw a lot of that on the summer spine because I went there. I didn't know what chest pouches were.
Yeah.
I didn't know what waterproof socks were. I didn't know what gaiters were. I'm looking at all these people. I was in my Gymshark clothes thinking like, bro, what's that? Oh, that's a gaiter. Cheers. You got any spare of those? I've got a couple of stones in my shoes that are really annoying me. But yeah, the chest pouches were awesome. I did buy one to take to the winter spine, but I didn't have enough time to train with it. Yeah. You do have to have a bit of a knack because there is kind of hooking it onto your vest and making sure it's not flapping around. I ended up going with the a waist pack, which was by OMM as well, and it was fucking awesome.
It was amazing.
What I found is I was actually using it for extra warmth and comfort, and I was doing it to protect my butt, literally, with the wind blowing up. You know when you like your shirt rides up because of the bags?
Yeah.
I was just like flipping this OMM thing round, and it was just protecting my lower back.
That's crazy.
Loved it.
And then on the topic, again, one more on kit that sort of left me, it's more like fact-finding for me, because I was just like, how do you do this? Fluid. Again, in a little Instagram update to say you were drinking from a puddle because you were thirsty. So what filter did you have? Like, how much water do you have to take? Where can you fill up bottles? Like, how do you manage hydration?
Yeah. I've done the summer spine as prep for the winter, and I would say the summer spine is so much harder to manage your water.
Yeah.
Like, it is unbelievable how easy it is to get dehydrated in the summer spine, especially for someone like myself.
Yeah.
We're
you
quite,
drink and sweat.
We're quite sweaty
so
over here
sweaty.
at Active Ideas.
Nah, don't umbrella that one. I am not.
Sweaty.
I'm like a camel. I store the water and you drink it.
Oh man, honestly. So yeah, in the summer it was extremely difficult. I did find that a lot easier. Like, in the summer I was carrying like 2.5 litres at points, because you just don't want to end up, absolutely screwed with no access to water. Everything's dried up. But in the winter I was carrying, a litre of water, and the rest I was just either getting just from really kind people on the trail, just helping runners out, or just scooping it up from puddles, which was the salmon carbon filter. It's like 30 quid. And the thing is, you can drink from a lot of these streams anyway. When you're a bit higher up, because obviously you're not risking drinking dead animals and stuff. But yeah, you've got to protect your race. You're out there for a long time. You could quite easily give yourself an issue. So carbon filters work. I've never had a problem with them, and I've drunk from some questionable substances. Let's say that they work, man.
Okay, so you've packed your kit. We've kind of talked a bit about the race. But I think, obviously, we touched as well on the media coverage that the race got, because there was a storm. Was it Storm Gertrude or Storm...
Something.
Something.
She sounded scary.
Yeah, she was pretty scary. So arriving in Edale, again, from watching the videos online, I know that car park so well, the bottom of Kinderscow. And I'm pretty sure the course takes you head up Jacob's Ladder from what I saw online. So really, I love that spot. It's such a lovely area for running, and I've spent a lot of time there. But I can't imagine turning up there with the weather the way that it was and thinking 268 miles. I just don't know how did you feel?
Yeah, it was an interesting one. When I left Norfolk, it felt a bit like Barbados.
Yeah.
It's quite warm here. The sun's, the yellow ball that we've got out in the sky, it's there.
Yeah.
And I slowly up north, this shade, it was like someone slowly was putting a filter on. And by the time I get to Edale, I'm in something, it looks like a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
Literally, there was snow piled up everywhere. There was no snow down here in Norfolk. Snow piled up everywhere. And I'm talking it was scooped out from cars so that the cars could get out the driveways.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe half a metre of snow in the driveways and stuff. Yeah. I'm thinking, well, maybe I've missed maybe this storm was yesterday. Maybe I've missed it. And I convinced myself of that, truly, because I naively went into that race thinking
this will be alright,
not knowing what it was like at the top.
And when you arrived in Edale, thinking to the course and having done the summer spine and knowing what you knew and the chatter, what part of the course scared you? Where did you think, I'm not looking forward to going?
2 sections, Cauldron Snout, because it's a scramble up of a waterfall, and I just knew that how icy the conditions were, and I know how hard I found that in the summer. That was a bit challenging, mainly mentally, just because I'm not a great fear of heights.
You don't like that at all, do you?
And there's a 5-track road that leads up to checkpoint 5.5, Burness. So that's where the church is and stuff, and you're running up to it, and it goes on for a very long time. And there's something about it, it's the easiest part of the track you'll run, but for some reason, it's the hardest. It's a flat road. That should be all me. I should be hitting 6-minute miles. But I got to this road, and I'm like, just like nothing. Like I don't know how many miles you're in, like 220 miles in or something, and
just like...
the body just like, I think that's what it is, because on bogs when you're not moving fast, your brain can accept that I'm on a bog or I'm on an ice sheet of ice.
Yeah, of course.
But when you get back to the road where you're born and bred, and you're like, let's go, let's turn the gas on, and you turn the gas and like
there's nothing there,
like nothing's happening.
Oh, bless you.
So I knew that was going to happen again, and
what
it did.
A stark contrast to be scared of like scramble up a waterfall and a road.
Yeah.
Road wasn't on my bingo card, I'll be honest.
You are in like the middle of a forest, and I knew that I'd probably be by myself. So it's like you're moving slow, it's really spooky and it feels haunted. And you're on this random, like, why is there a road here?
Yeah, why is there a road?
No, I'm nowhere.
Where is
I'm
it going?
middle of nowhere. Like, what's happening?
And what excited you? You know, in amongst this fear of roads that you've got, which bit excited you? Like, what were you looking forward to about the course?
I remember getting to that first checkpoint of the summer spine, and it felt like a freaking war zone, man. Like part of the kit list is like hyperbaric needles or something, and you're popping your blisters because you have to. You got to maintain. You can't just leave a blister on day one when you're going to be running on it for 6-7 days. So blister maintenance is really up there. But I just loved that chaos of the of the checkpoint, where it's extremely overwhelming, honestly. That first checkpoint is mental. But I think I was looking forward to it, because you've got no choice but to get soaked up into it and like, let's just go, go, go.
I literally can't get my head around you. I've asked you which part of the course scared you, and it was a road, and which part excited you, and it was the war zone checkpoint with the blister needles.
Yeah, just like there's those blister needles flying everywhere. People are getting that chafe cream out. Everyone's got their wet clothes on the floor.
This is what it takes to finish the winter spine. Just mental. You're mental. I'm telling you, you're mental. We were laughing about this because we said in every training run we've ever done forever, I'm a bit of a fair weather runner. Like, I'm the first person to admit that. You're giving me that like knowing look. And I'd sort of, we'll text Kingsley and be like, oh, you know, I hope the weather, and he's like, I hope it's awful. I hope it's gale force winds, and like the little emoji that's like that purple devil, like like lay it on thick. And I was chuckling because you got your race, like you got that emoji times like 20.
It was what I'd call spicy.
And then still just arriving into Edale, did you, I mean, obviously you probably weren't a front racer in the race.
Hang on. So this is what scared me. So in that first couple of miles with like Jacob's Ladder, Kinder Scout, that kind of area, I was actually a front runner.
Were you?
And I'm not even joking. I was in front of Ali Bailey, and I was running with Anna Troop for the first, I don't know how many miles, 5-10 miles. I've got video evidence.
Anna Troop won it, by the way, like female winner.
I was running, and I didn't actually realise at first. I'm just running along with this wonderful lady, and I check the number bib, and I'm like, hang on, I've had a look at these number bibs. That's Anna freaking Troop. And I was like, I need to slow down. But do you know what? She goes a really consistent and manageable pace, and that's what I learned. She wasn't one of those runners that kind of sprints out, gas on 10, and burns herself out at checkpoint 1. She actually did a pace that a lot of people, I think, could sustain.
Tortoise in the hair, isn't it?
I think she just has a weird ability to actually, when times get tough, most people will slow down.
She doesn't.
But she's found a way to not. Because it was completely manageable running with Anna Troop. It was just unmanageable to keep running with Anna Troop.
Yeah, you could see that in the footage of her moving.
Just Terminator. She just doesn't stop. That same cadence, that same pace, consistent, and just smashed it.
Yeah, I think you've absolutely hit the nail on the head from like what we saw as well, consistency. You could really tell the difference between a front runner and a not front runner watching the footage when it got to like day 3, day 4. Because the ones running were the front runners. The ones that were like hobbling around, like with their eyes half open. You were like, yeah, you're probably not at the front.
and I think Jack Scott said it perfectly. You've got good kind of like front runners, and then you have good Pennine Way runners. And I think Anna Troop is a fantastic Pennine Way runner. She just knows when to push and when not to. And it's not about checking the watch and looking at your pace. She just knows that route so well. I think it goes to show how much like a recce would probably help.
And for anyone that doesn't know, Jack Scott, from memory, he's the current course record holder.
Yeah, I think he didn't like 72 hours or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
and even the winning times this year were over 100 hours.
Yeah.
Or the men's was maybe 90 something.
Yeah, it was a tough year in terms of the weather. It really destroyed a lot of people. I think a lot of people DNF because of eye problems as well. Just that first climb when I was running around a troop, feeling like
with your swimming goggles on.
With my swimming goggles, feeling like the dog's bollocks. Look at me, I'm gonna come top 10, me. A lot of people let it get too much. Really, you got to shield yourself from the conditions.
Yeah, 100%. It is interesting. So you've headed out, you've run with Anna Troop. She's left you for dust. Yeah. We're now getting to Scout Centre, so that's 46 miles in, and that is checkpoint 1. How did you feel at checkpoint 1? Like you've done an ultra marathon.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's only checkpoint 1. Like for a lot of people, 46 miles.
Yeah.
Like I know I've got the Lakeland race this year, and that's 50.
Yeah.
So that's my race. Like you get there and that's your race done. But for you, it's checkpoint 1. Like how do you compartmentalize that?
I learnt the hard way, man. I mean, I packed a little bit light for that first leg.
Yeah.
It's new because I knew I wanted to keep up with the front runners.
Yeah.
Or like mid-pack, basically. I knew that I would have the most amount of energy, I'd have no injuries, and I wanted to run as much as I could all the way to checkpoint 1. But what happened was I was in a Salomon Bonatti top, and I was in OMM Halo waterproof pants. And if you've not used them, they're like a tinfoil thin waterproof like layer. And I tell you what, I ripped my waterproof pants in half. So they were too baggy for me because I struggle with my chafing, man. I had these baggy waterproof trousers to allow my legs to breathe, and they got caught under my shoes and ripped in half. So it's minus 16 or and the OMM Halo, anti-rip. Oh, they were anti-rip, not lengthwise though. I couldn't tear them sideways. I had to stop and get my emergency scissors out because I was like in the wind. My legs were just flapping in my face. My groin was getting a bit cold, and I didn't want to trip over because these trousers were getting caught in the spikes. So it was just. I had to learn really quickly. I had to get my scissors out and cut off one leg of my waterproof trousers and just accept that one leg would be cold. I met this dude called Texas John, and he was a really cool character. He's really cool. I think he's about 34. He's like a banker and accountant from U.S.A. Really nice person. We had some like deep chats, but we also had a joke as well and a laugh. And we were talking about David Goggins and taking souls. And he was like, can you see red lights in front of us? Let's catch him. And we were doing that, just having a bit of fun. Me and Texas John. But then me and Texas John got a little bit too involved in conversation. Yeah. And we went about freaking quarter of a mile off track. And I'm like, hey, Texas John, I've just checked our tracker. We need to be all the way up there where all the other 16 lights are. And that was all of the souls that we'd just taken. We just skipped past us. And it's shows how easy it is to lose your place, because if you go downhill, skipping along, having the time of your life, and then you realise, fuck, I've got to go all the way back up. So we buried ourselves to get back up, and we both kind of hit a bit of the marathon wall that you hit. My body was fine, like physically, no muscles, tendons, aches, nothing like that. Yeah. But the calorie situation for me and Texas John was quite severe. So that's when I got out my first piece of cheese, if you've seen my reel, and my pepperoni. Honestly, I had this cheese and pepperoni, and I was talking loud about this to Texas John, and he was so jealous. It was funny. He's like, "You got cheese over there, man? It's a great idea, man. I wish I had some cheese right now." And we had to just stop, and we force-fed ourselves so much food because we were smelling like John, is that some chocolate you can smell? The checkpoint must be just here, and we were miles away. So we just got the calories in, and we got to checkpoint 1, and it was chaotic and it was wonderful.
But I think there's a lot of we've talked about this, and it's so controversial, the food thing, and I'm sure we'll touch on it more as this story kind of goes on. Yeah. But I'm such an advocate for real food, and I know so many people out there aren't, because you talk about calories versus weight, and it's all about it's a science, isn't it?
It's so tough.
Am I getting what I need for the minimum that I'm carrying? But actually, what does your body?
You've seen the weight that I've lost.
Yeah.
The thing is, I wasn't just making a choice for that moment when I had the cheese and the pepperoni, although that was the only thing my body wanted. I really wanted that.
I get cravings for them sometimes.
It was that soul, it was the protein, but you're also making the choice for tomorrow and the day after, because that's the thing with something like the spine. You're not just fueling for the moment. you're fueling for tomorrow. You need to be able to get to that checkpoint, and when you have your 10-minute rest or your 3-hour rest, you need to fuel your body with the protein and those macronutrients and micro to actually recover, otherwise you're screwed.
Yeah, no, it's not cool. So you've gone into checkpoint 1, you fueled up, you got a bit lost, you've recovered, and you're going back out. So where does the race really take you from there? Because I think your next checkpoint is over 100 miles into the race, so you've got to go out and do what you've just done all over again and again and again and again. But like, where did it take you?
So that snow started to slowly slip away.
It looked like it turned more mild. The reports were more mild, because I think you didn't dwell for very long. You're going for that 24 30 hour like thing, no sleep for the wicked, off you went.
No, I didn't sleep at checkpoint 1. I knew I wasn't going to do that, because I'm pretty insomniac and nocturnal anyway. But it wasn't a good thing that the snowstorm stopped. It was real bad, because I looked at the forecast at the checkpoint, and it depressed me. That's when I decided, with my flapping waterproofs at checkpoint 1, I was like, actually, I'm doing the spine, I should actually get my heavy duty waterproofs out. And it's funny, like, you spend so much time like trying to get the weight of your pack down, and then when it actually comes to it, you don't care, because the weight of your pack doesn't matter if you're not warm. Like all these little things. So I learned that very quickly. And the snowstorm stopped, but the rain began, and I think it was worse, because it just soaked through slowly, and once it got there, it didn't leave for 67 miles. Like, that rain just pelted us, and what it caused was a lot of the puddles that looked like puddles had sheet ice underneath. And it was really funny. Like, I met a wonderful guy called Jay, and he went, hey, maybe I should get my yak tracks out before I slip and break my face. And as he said it, he slipped and went about 3 meters into the sky, and then landed on his back, and he was all dazed. And his Instagram's called like the Hurricane something, the Hurricane Runner. So, it encapsulates like his personality perfectly. He was just all over the place, but in the best and like most like friendly way. But he was like, I want to put the yak tracks on now. But we were kind of battling it hard ways. I slipped and fell as well. I thought I was going to fall to my death. And maybe like 3 or 4 meters, sliding down a mountain on sheet ice. And again, it's one of those learning quicklies, because I live in Norfolk, it's hard to train.
You can't train for it.
I didn't realise that underneath water could be such thick and hard and slippery ice.
It happened to us at home, so we did actually get the storm. It must have started in the north and come down. But Norfolk, actually, believe this or not, was colder than, I think it's Greenland. Like the temperatures were reported to be colder. So we did experience it, and our claim to winter chaos was that we went out for a dog walk, and the same thing. The puddles that looked like puddles still had that ice underneath. And Rob and Georgia both almost went a cropper just walking the dog. So again, like, when you add the Pennine Way into that with the same conditions. I'm looking at the DNF list as well. I know Chris Cope, who I met doing the Backyard Ultra, he was on a project all surrounding like insulin and diabetes and stuff. Really, really fascinating things. But the winter spine was his big project, and he actually didn't make it past checkpoint 1 because he fell due to like these conditions. So it was knocking out front runners left, right and centre. To be honest, it really changed the field, and I think it put the first place at one point. He was like 20 miles ahead because people had fallen out due to these horrible conditions. So you've carried on running. You're now getting into checkpoint 2, and you're over 100 miles into the race. So again, you've done what some people, like, that is their lifetime goal, 100 miles, and you're not even halfway. So where in the pack kind of were you at this point? Because I'm guessing we're not running with Anna Trope anymore by the time you came into checkpoint 2. So you've come into there at midnight, and then it looks like you've stayed for 8 hours. So you've obviously decided to have your first big sleep. And we were talking about the difference between the summer spine and the winter spine, and we were looking again at some of the DNF list, and it did look like sleep depth, you said, really knocked people out, and that was your like big lesson from the summer, wasn't it?
You can tell just looking at someone for 3 seconds if they are spine sleep deprived or not. It's like 3 seconds, that guy needs sleep. It's that quick.
And that wasn't going to get you in this one, was it?
I was just like, it's not happening.
So what is sleeping at that checkpoint like? Because again, from memory, was this the one with bunk beds?
Yeah, it's got bunk beds. Luckily, I didn't have to climb any bunk beds.
Because when I was looking again online, I was like, hold on a second, this looks quite luxurious.
I mean, I don't know about luxurious. Look at those beds, man. Look at it. There was not even bedding because we're spine crew. Yeah. We've got our pillows packed in our 20 kg duffel bag that's already too heavy. Yeah, I've got my pillows and duvet in there, mate.
But yeah, so you managed to get your head down for a bit, and you know, they talk about needing an eye mask and it being quite noisy and like obviously getting into bed, the amount of times like we've climbed into the van and then had to go back out. Like, how do you run 100 miles, take this like half-assed sleep in a sleeping bag on a bunk bed in a busy coming and going space where people are trickling in and trickling out, and then go back out?
Well, the state that I got into, Hawes YHA, I can remember now. I had to get a visual memory because it's so hard to picture what just happened. Like, it's all over the place, my memory. I've not even had time to process it.
You're not yourself today.
Because we've had 3 days since I crossed the line. Yeah. Not even.
Yeah, you're not yourself. But I was also like, we need to absorb this now while it's fresh.
Fucking hell.
While you're still traumatised, we should discuss this.
So the headspace I went into with Hawes, I think that's when I'm starting to struggle with the distance. It was all fun and games up until Hawes YHA. You're looking down at your GPS and you're seeing the miles tick away, but where the hell was the checkpoint? And I was starting to develop the foot pain from, just all of the hard terrain that we'd be running through. The gators and the ice spikes particularly were really kind of doing my head in, to be honest. So you start to get close to Hawes YHA, my body's screaming at me. I'm starting to battle those sleep demons. I get there, and to sleep, you're getting you need to have 2 sleeping bags. One you carry on you for sleeping on the trail, but also one for checkpoints. Yeah. So get your sleeping bag out. At some checkpoints, I even got my emergency blanket out. And I tell you what, they are wonderful. I highly recommend packing a few of those. If you're a little bit chilly, get an
emergency... like tinfoil ones?
Yeah, man. Yeah. If you want to wake up in a puddle of sweat and have terrifying nightmares, but a fairly good sleep, then they're great.
Why do you think you cook chicken in tinfoil? Like, there's a reason.
So, the one memorable moment that happened at Hawes YHA, though, is one of the, I think, black trail runners, or he's a guy called Ruben, had dropped out, and he was offering me just whatever I wanted from his kit bag, he said I could have. And it was like, that's a bit overwhelming. When you're sleep deprived and, like, you're fighting, to stay alive, he was offering me whatever I wanted out of his kit bag so that my journey could continue.
I love that.
And I did have fears because, this race is expensive. I can't afford to spend £60 per pair of gloves and have like 10 pairs. A lot of people can and do, but I had 1 pair of mittens and 1 pair of fingered gloves. And I was thinking that first 100 miles, I was like, Kingsley, you're so stupid. Like, you've packed one thing that if you don't turn up to the kit check with them, your race is over. Like, with that wind that you've...
What if you dropped it up?
like you've already lost things today. Because they flew off at 70 mile per hour in the wind, and you've got 1 pair of waterproof gloves. It's ridiculous. It was a little bit of messing up for me. I do have more gloves than that. I left 1 pair at home. I should have bought more. But yeah, Mr. Ruben, his race was over.
How many Go 8 pair of gloves did you get?
I'm not even joking. I had 4 pairs of Go 8 gloves. And for listeners that don't know, that's how me and Abby met. We used to work there. So I had them.
That's a core memory.
I had the Montane Prism Gold Pro, and then I had 4 pairs of Go 8
Every run
gloves.
we ever went on, I get really cold hands. I've got like a repeat injury from my ski season, and Kingsley would be like, "Don't worry," and he'd hand me a pair of like Go 8 gloves that had a hole on like one finger and like a tear down the other where they were going to toss them, and he was like, "No, I'll make use of them." And we'd just go out every run with like mismatched like junior and adult glove on 2 left hands. Like, that is such a cool memory. But yeah, so this chap's dropped out and he's been like, raid my bag. So what did you take?
And I think it's just admirable because like this guy was having maybe one of the worst days this year of 2026, and yet he still had that mindset to be like, let's help people out. And he was sleep deprived. He's fallen asleep on his stool, on his chair, and like suffering. We'll go into details. You can go onto his Instagram for that. But what he was going through, I can't believe it. I took gloves. I took some. I didn't use them. I just wanted them for kit check. If I lost my gloves, I didn't want that for me, my race to be over.
Yeah.
I also snapped my ice spikes. I took 2 pairs of ice spikes, and they're designed for walking and hiking, not for running with Anna Troop up and down the mountains. Like, honestly.
You're claiming fame over here. You're 5 miler with Anna Troop.
in that first 100 miles, I'd already gone through and snapped 2, like a pair of Yak Tracks Pro spikes, or springs.
Yeah.
So I took a pair of those. Again, they're not cheap, so really, just admirable. And he gave me a bag of food. And one thing that was quite good as well, he gave me some like anti-inflammatory gel, which was wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the kindness of others, because this race isn't like, I've done the Maverick races where you come into a checkpoint and you've got Coca-Cola and you've got snacks and like you don't really have to carry anything. And like your loved ones are there and their car's there, and it's not that thing. This race is like really frowned upon for any external help other than the help on the race. So when I was planning up to come to you, obviously I was reading it all online, and I didn't want to affect your race because I know we had the same with the ARC. Like, it's very strict, you can't be out on the course with them, etc.
It's real cool. It's self-supported, so Abby can't come meet me on the trail and slip me some cheeky gels.
You can't give them anything, because I was like, I'll bring them a pizza, and then I was reading it online, I was like, you would literally be disqualified unless
if Abby wanted to stand there all day and offer all of the runners pizzas, then it's allowed. So that's the way it works.
So it's done based on like local kindness, and within the race, which I quite like, because it
really
does
cool.
create that, like,
you meet people like Rasta Ralph, the random Rasta.
I can't wait to hear about it. I can't wait to hear about it. But no, so you're now moving through the course, and you must be coming up to about halfway by checkpoint 3.
Yeah, so running up to Middleton again, like that energy that I initially had started off with, and you're running towards Middleton.
152.
So Middleton, let's say it's 150-ish miles. I'm starting to suffer a bit more. So you start off with all this energy, you've tapered over Christmas, you've eaten healthy, but as that race goes on, that kind of fit and efficient body that you had is slowly dropping down, and I just found that drop a bit deeper than I would have liked by the time I got to Middleton. And I'm also starting to worry, because I know when you get to Middleton, you lose signal. So basically the GPS tracker, your phone signal, it's a very kind of like black spot for any cellular connectivity at all. The sleep demons, despite my sleep at checkpoint 2, were hitting me extremely strong. And I kept on seeing Zuki, which is so funny, because I think we were both suffering with sleep demons, because he just looked like a walking zombie. And I'd skip past him like, hey Zuki, how you doing? He's like a pro signed, I don't know who he's with, like Arc'teryx or North Face or something. Hey Zuki. And then like freaking half an hour later, he'll jog past me at lightning, I'm talking lightning speed. And like Zuki's back. And I'm like, trying to catch him. And I'm getting to like gates and stiles, and at this point I'm getting a bit delirious. Like, you can tell when you're like heavily sleep deprived. I'm getting delirious. I'm not hallucinating, but I'm close.
Yeah.
So when I get to the gates, I'm just leaning my back on that gate for like 10 seconds, and I'm counting just to give myself time. Just 1, 2, and getting to 10, and just letting my eyes just close just for a little bit, just to give myself a bit of rest, because I couldn't keep my eyes open for that long. And I was like, cool, get to the next gate. And this section to checkpoint 3 is horrendous.
There's a lot of, am I right in thinking that part has a particularly high amount of gates and stiles? Because one of the athletes does comment in the video about a section that's a lot of gates, a lot of stop starting, like really hard to find your flow, or is that not the section?
I mean, it was definitely up there. It might have been the section, I can't remember what has the most, but it just felt like every 100 metres you were having to climb over a stile.
Yeah, that's
and
a lot.
At 150 miles, your body and sleep deprivation, your body's not like in a place to do it, and I'm starting to get pissed off now. You're following this river, and a little bit of is like getting pissed off at myself, because I'm like, how can this feel like when I did it in summer, in my memory it was so much shorter. I skipped down this road for like 10 minutes. I've been on here an hour. I've checked my watch, and I'm probably going to be here for another hour.
But what happened in the summer versus the winter? Had you slept as much or less by this point?
I slept much less, but I think it was all new to me. And it was, I just had too much knowledge in this one. And because I hadn't slept much in the summer, I think maybe my brain didn't remember.
Traumatised.
trauma moments.
But you've come through through to checkpoint 3, and then it looks like your dwell again was about that 7-hour mark.
Yeah,
so.
I knew because I was falling asleep on my feet. Like I had a piss and I nearly fell asleep.
It was 3 a.m, to be fair, when you got to that checkpoint.
Yeah. So it explains it. I was falling asleep, opening gates, peeing. I was like, I need to get to that checkpoint.
I feel like that 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning.
So tough.
Fine when you're 18 and you've had a few drinks and it's like the early hours of Sunday, but it's so not cool. Like now, it's just.
I remembered like someone talking about. I heard it on a podcast about protein helping with sleep deprivation. Yeah. I think it was John Kelly actually.
Were you back on the pepperonis?
Yeah, so I heard John Kelly talking about it. So after like my 15th sleep on a gate, where I like fucking hell, I got some chicken raiders in me, pepperoni, and I smashed like 2 90-gram gels in, like all in one go. I'm like, I'm gonna make it to Middleton.
Yeah, well, it's calories, isn't it? Calories, it's energy, and that is what you. That's literally what you need. It's why eating before bed isn't good for you, and you get that like zoomy rush if you have something before you try and sleep. I
was gonna say, I finally get to Middleton, and it's the best checkpoint ever.
Really?
Honestly. I'd had enough. Sarah Perry talks about this, but the checkpoints can be really overwhelming.
Was it really pretty? Was that the one with the fairy lights?
It's pretty. There's fairy lights there and stuff.
Yeah, because I saw a video again of it and I was like, oh, that looks whimsical.
Yeah, it's like Sarah Perry talks about how overwhelming checkpoints can be.
Yeah.
And, I enjoyed it at checkpoint 1 because you're full of beans and it's like, I'm in this spine race.
Woo.
By checkpoint 2, I'm like, can everyone get away from me?
Yeah, go away.
And checkpoint 3, I just needed some space.
Yeah.
And when I got there, it was so warm and so cozy. They had the radiators up so high, it was ridiculous. Like you walked in and you can be in your shorts and pants, but that's what you needed.
Yeah.
You'd been frozen to death for 2 freaking days.
Yeah, I was about to say you're like 60 hours into your race at this point.
And I didn't get the chap's name, but there was a dude there and I could tell he was tired as well, but he just had the most calming demeanour and it was very nice. It was just, what can I get you? And there was no conversation or anything. I was like, can I have a hot chocolate? I was like, no worries. And he just went and got it and brought it back within seconds.
Wow.
Like, and then I wolfed it down. He's like, do you want me to get you a pint of that next time? It's like, yes, please, mate. I'll do that for you. And I felt like I was in a spa or something. And yeah, I dried off all my kit there, and yeah, it was just a really kind of cool vibe. All the volunteers were, all the volunteers are nice anyway, but they were just very calm.
Yeah.
And that was that. It felt like they were fully in control there, which was really nice.
That is why I could never be a volunteer. Think about the arc where I was like, do you want this? Do you want that?
Just shove it
in. Do this? Oh my god. Where's the towel? Don't know what's going on. Woo! Should we juggle your socks? Let's juggle your socks. It'll be fun. Why don't you wear odd socks this time? Let's mess it up.
So I go have my sleep. These sleeps I'm having, they're about 3 hours. They're nothing special, but I'm laying there. I'm trying to catch up on texts and messages.
You message me at this point, yeah.
Because it's motivating to speak to friends and family and get that kind of support.
The messages on the page were so fun.
Yeah, I've still not seen them yet. I've got my printout there.
Stop it.
They give you the printout of all of your spine mail.
No.
So I can't wait to read them. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it gives you the time you got to the checkpoints. And for listeners, we're just looking at the spine mail, which the spine team print off for you like a receipt. I've got it all here on me.
So cool.
So I can't wait to read through them all.
How fun. I remember only just discovering that it works.
I've heard that my nan's on there a lot and there's lots of banter about my testicles. So I'm going to have to find this out.
There was a bit where I was like, oh my god, you can do this. And I'm pretty sure my comment literally is, just learned how to spine mail. You're doing great. How fun. Okay, well, that's so fun.
So yeah, wake up at checkpoint 3 and I'm kind of hearing the music playing. These checkpoint volunteers are starting to put the tunes on. They're right, let's get the runners going.
Yeah.
It's 6 a.m. or whatever the time was.
Yeah.
The sun's about to come up. So yeah, I'm fucking feeling great.
Vibing.
I get my English breakfast, my eggs and my sausage and my fucking bacon.
This sounds delightful.
It was great. I put on my dry kit. I put on my pants that aren't chafing my testes. Because I'm like, I'm not taking these off for the rest of the race. Because at this point, my chafing is just already beyond belief.
But why? I mean, without getting
Once upon a time. I don't know. I think me personally, I think it's down to genetics, man. Nah, it's like I play football as well, and I've just got these for an ultra runner, I've got some big quads and calves, man. And I think and I'm quite short. I'm 5'7", so finding a pair of like bottoms that fit me is just so tough. Yeah, I don't know.
Try not to make eye contact with you. Yeah, it was literally all the nut updates. I was just like, just get bigger pants, man.
I tried everything. I've been told to try budgie smugglers, like they literally just are a pouch.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I'm a desperate man. I am gonna buy some 50 quid Nike, literally palk. They look like men's thongs, but
I think you should give them a go.
I tell you what, if they work, I'm in.
The French swear by them.
And then,
oh man.
See, I've dried my my Under Armour trousers on the radiator.
And you've given it another go.
And I've put them on, and they're just they're so warm. They've got loads of space. I'm loving it. And I'm looking at all my tights and shit. And I'm like, I'm not putting on tights. They're staying away from me. That'll be the end of me.
How does it work though? So talc and Vaseline.
Yeah.
Like they do two different things, and
Yeah.
I always get in a muddle. Like, do you want a talc or do you want a Vaseline? Do you want a slick or do you want a powder? Like, what are you supposed to do to deal with chafe?
Yeah, so I put trail skin on my feet.
I saw that.
I put Vaseline on the groin area, and then on my clothes I put talc because I'm a very sweaty person.
Okay.
And that just gives me an extra 30 minutes.
Moisture wicking.
Yeah, so it's like to assist in the moisture wicking.
But you wouldn't put Vaseline on and talc.
Yeah, it's just not going to do much.
Yeah,
But you can put the talc on the clothes, the Vaseline on your body.
Yeah.
And it's all a bit of a mess down there, but I'm just doing everything I can.
Yeah. And then looking at the list and the map, it looks like you've got checkpoints, but you've also got these little like in between stops. So you've obviously had checkpoint 1, and then you've got this like halfway, and then 2, 3, and then this little halfway. So Dufton Village Hall. Walk me through getting to Dufton, because your tracker's gone offline. I was in head office and was like, I'm going to surprise him. It's going to be like the Ark. I'm so excited. And then it was like 10:27 and I'm looking at my clock and it's 12 and it's not updated. Don't know where you are. I'm reading all this stuff online about like, you should only appear once on the course, like you can't do anything anyway. And I'm like, looking at the map, it then from Dufton looks like you go, what do you call it, Crossfell?
Crossfell, to Crossfell.
Up to Crossfell, which is about a 20-mile section, and I'm like, if I get there at 3-4 p.m, bearing in mind it's basically driving to Scotland and then trying to drive home to go to work, I'm like, I might miss him. So I bite the bullet and I text you and I'm like, Kings, I'm thinking about coming up, where are you, mate? But by the time your message came through, it was about 1-2, and like, we just missed that window. So you're completely remote, you're nowhere near anything, and you're trying to get to this elusive village hall. Like, talk us through that section of, if you can remember.
Yeah, I can remember this section really well, actually.
We didn't want that light anyway.
I left checkpoint 3, and I don't know if it was the volunteers, if it was just, I slept well, but I left there feeling $1 million. I felt great, and I was running quickly as well. Like, I completed that section from checkpoint 3, Middleton, all the way to Dufton Village Hall. Pretty quick, like for me.
Yeah, I thought quickly. It was quick as well.
I was running, like I didn't walk much of it. I ran most of that section.
And you're over 150 miles into the race at this point.
Yeah,
I feel like that's when I really thought you're going to finish this.
I felt amazing.
Yeah.
Like I felt probably the best I'd felt in the whole race.
Really?
Because I think that accumulative fitness that you're getting from the race, like your body's kind of absorbing that fitness, it's getting used to the weight of your pack.
A lot of people said that.
You're adapting to the situation, and that was the moment where just equilibrium hit.
Yeah.
And I just felt I was flying.
Good.
I caught up with this guy, I think from Poland. He was suffering. He was stumbling about, and he's a really good runner.
I saw him on the media.
Yeah, so I gave him. I was like, "Are you okay, mate? My stomach, it's not good." So I'm like, "Have you had salt?" He's like, "Salt?" I'm like, "That's what you should take if your stomach's not good." So I gave him my salt tablets, and he's like, "Thank you so much, mate." And he did come around as well, and he thanked me for that at Dufton. But yeah, I just kind of sprinted all the way there, and I'm having memories back to running with Lisa Wright, Angela, Rob Gittins, because they kind of guided me up the Cauldron Snout ice climb.
Yeah. So is
like
that before
scramble.
Dufton or after?
Before. And I'm shitting my pants about this because it's a scramble. I know I'm going to be doing it by myself, and I can't really remember how I got to the top. I don't remember how long it was, and I've also learned by this point I can't trust my brain, because what I thought was 10 minutes was 4 hours, and what I thought was 4 hours was 10 minutes in some of these
I think
legs.
this is when we then got an update on Instagram from you, and it was with your goggles, and you showed like where you'd got to the top of it, and like what the conditions were like, and you were kind of sheltered, but you were like, trust me, the wind up here is like no joke.
And it felt amazing. I was so proud to get that section section done, and that was the first time I thought I might actually fucking finish this.
I felt like you'd finish it.
Yeah,
Watching, we were like, yeah, he's got this.
I got there and I was just like, do you know what? I've got Crossfell. It's only 800 metres up in the sky with snow blizzards.
Fine.
It's good. I've just done Cauldron Snout by myself.
You could tell you were chipper. Like, the updates were coming through, the text messages. Like, it felt like a good
section.
A good part of the race.
So I run down to Dufton and I've got good memories there again with Lisa, Rob and Angela.
You only stayed there for 10 minutes. You're 80 hours into the race.
I stayed at Dufton for the actual spine checkpoint for 10 minutes, and the reason was because there was a coffee shop a bit earlier up the road.
Is that where you posted?
And I spent 40 minutes at the coffee shop. So I got to this spine checkpoint and like, do you want anything? Nah, I'm good. And like, oh, so you don't need us then? I was like, all right, have a glass of water. And I downed about 3 pints of water, so I was actually quite dehydrated. But I got to the coffee shop and it was so warm and cozy in there, and they had their radiator on. So I was sat next to my radiator, looking up at Crossfell, this mountain, thinking, oh man, I'm looking at the time as well. It's like 3:30, and I'm like, it's light now, but the second I set off, it's going to be dark. So I got some beans in, I've got my coffee in, and I'm just warming all my gear up, my gloves and my thing to get ready for psych myself up.
A night on the fells, because that's what it must have been. The timing of it.
Horrendous. I'm climbing up Crossfell and the temperature's starting to drop really quickly, and what's turning from like ice and little puddles of water is turning into snow.
North Pennines.
Yeah,
so you're above the Yorkshire Dales.
Yeah.
And you're into Crossfell.
Crossfell.
North Pennines.
Yeah, you're remote, but you've got these beautiful, at night time anyway, view of like the city lights and stuff.
Yeah.
Was
it a clear night? Could you see the stars? Because some people had said it was a beautiful night. I don't know if it was that night.
It wasn't that night, but this one a clear night, bro. Look at my hands, man. So I kept on wondering, when shall I put my ice spikes on? Because I'm trying to balance, not trying to hurt my feet, because they just hurt so much. And I'd heard a lot of people DNF the spine from just being in the ice spikes for too long. You've not trained in it, and then you're running in stilts.
You couldn't practice in it.
You can't practice, so I'm kind of pushing it off. And as well with my pants, I don't want to make my groin chafing worse, and I know the second that I put my waterproof trousers on, it just makes that area a bit more restricted, so I'm getting a little bit colder than I would have liked. But I must have got to maybe 400 metres or whatever it was, and then decided, okay, I'm stopping. So I stopped, put my waterproof trousers on, took me ages, my ass was freezing because I'm just sat in the snow. And then I put my spikes on, my hands are starting to get cold, so you're faffing with the frickin' spikes. Then you put your gloves on, using your fucking teeth to get them on. Right, let's go. And I start climbing, and that's when the blizzard starts, and it's just like the wind and the ice. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, goggles, man, where are they? I'm looking for the goggles.
This is ridiculous.
I put them on, and because I'm a cougher, I've got asthma, as you probably can tell from this podcast. Yeah, I put these goggles on, and I cough, and it fills up the goggles with steam. So now I'm fucking on the moon.
That's
ridiculous.
And
I can't see shit. And you're slipping and sliding, and I'm just getting really worried at this point, because if I take the goggles off, my eyes are burning because of how cold it is. Like, literally burning. And if you put them on, then I can't see stuff. And meanwhile, if you take the wrong step on Crossfell, you are going to fall to your death. Like, it's really dangerous up there. And it's just so funny because I didn't really...
Sounds hilarious.
Well, in my mind, I didn't expect it to be that bad. I'd done it in summer last time.
Yeah.
And I smashed a bag of, the Mal balls?
Yeah,
Pinballs.
We love them.
We love them. And the reason I love them is because one of my favourite memories, I smashed the whole bag and I just sprinted up Crossfell. Like, I just put on some music.
I remember you telling me this. I do vividly remember
I was just like, let's go. I'm going to have it. I don't care about my aching body. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I just sprinted up and down that thing. And for some reason, I had no idea how bad it would be.
It's crazy, man.
So the only way to survive, for me, a non-experienced ice climber, and that's the conditions that I was in, I needed my ice axe and my rope, but I didn't have it. I was following the footsteps of the other runners, and that was when I started to feel comfortable. I put on my extra layers, I had my waterproofs and my spikes on, and I was still slipping around. But when I followed the footsteps, you knew that other people have been this through and they've not died, which will hopefully
because that's what
not.
you said. You were like, you got there and you just didn't see anyone, and you were like, has everyone else died?
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, it was just like barren.
Didn't see anyone.
Nothing going. I can't hear anyone, and if you stop, you die because your body temperature drops so quickly. So following these footsteps and putting on my music, and I got into a state of flow that I've never been in before. And I think it's a forced state of flow because I had no choice. It was just like, it was survive or die.
Yeah.
And I chose to survive. So I'm putting on my music, and it was some of the most fun I had. Like, once I actually got comfortable and I get to Greg's Hut, and it just like, it was an absolute adventure. I'm really proud of it.
You wanted that. You did want that.
I'm so proud of it. And I got to the Greg's Hut with John Barber and his spicy noodles. It's famous now at the Spine. But all the medics and volunteers there were just so fucking lovely. And it's one of my, I don't know if you saw my Instagram post, but it's like, they always went, hello, and I'll kind of walk in, sit you down, get hot chocolate in you, and I don't know, that felt really like a Spine moment, and it was really special.
I think there's something to be said for doing hard stuff. And that sense of like, wow, I've done it.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's so many races out there now, and there's people that run the length of this country and do the length of that. But that like do or die moment and getting your body to a point of like, if I stop, I'll die. I have to keep going.
Yeah.
And being able to get yourself there, like, it's amazing the way it lights you up, to be honest.
It's weird,
I'm catching the bug kings. Whoa, what's going on?
So you get
to Greg's Hut, and then where does the course take you from there? Because you're getting pretty close to the end now.
So you get to Greg's Hut, and my eyes are set obviously on Alston YHA. And why are my eyes set on there? Because it's Alston Lasagna. They have an Instagram page. They're so famous that the Alston Lasagna Spine team have an Instagram page with a lot of followers. So if you want to check out their lasagna,
checking out their lasagna now.
It's
Alston Lasagna.
I was a bit disappointed in myself because this year I only had 3 portions, and in the summer I had about 4 or 5. It was it was in my crossheads, and I wanted to get there.
Oh my god, they actually do.
And I'm running towards Alston.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Honestly, it's crazy.
That's so funny. Okay, so Alston Lasagna, you've only had a few portions, and then what happens?
I'm still on Crossfell, and I've got off of Greg's Hut. I'm heading towards Alston, and that's when the weather it went from crazy to insane.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, like, it went insane. Like, I had maybe 7 layers on. I had 3 or 4 hoods on.
Thank you, Kitless.
And a beanie, and my head and my back was getting cold.
Do you think it's because they say like cold gets into your bones, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It like gets beyond cold.
It was beyond cold, and the temperature dropped more. The wind got stronger. The icy rain was just insane. Yeah. So I just felt really sorry for the runners behind me. That was a moment where I truly felt grateful.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard when your body aches and you're struggling and you know how far you've got to go to look at yourself in that moment and think, I'm grateful for this. But I truly was.
I think you've hit the nail on the head as well with equilibrium. Like, there's an equilibrium in the race where you don't want to be out there for 7 days.
Yeah.
Like, the cut-off for this is a week, but you don't want it to take you the week because it's longer on your feet. It's longer out there.
You increase the risk.
Yeah, there's arguably like that good spot between how long you can be out there and not. So I'm feeling sorry for anyone that's still out there, to be honest.
And I thought people behind me on Crossfell in those conditions just had an extra 2 or 3% added to their risk of DNFing.
With the weather.
And that's all it is. This is a game of percentages, and I just felt, wow, that's the people on there right now. If they can finish this race after that, are on next level. Yeah. That's beyond what I can do.
Because the guy who came in last.
Yeah.
There's a video of him falling into one of the checkpoints where he just makes the cut off.
Yeah, I saw that moment.
And
special,
then he finishes
at
it,
Burness.
And I felt so like attached to him when he finished, because it was just like, I've seen how close you were chasing, and we've been there.
I just got goosebumps.
We've been there with the arc, with chasing cut-offs, and I remember that time where like I met you and you started to keep going. And I think being at the back is almost as hard, if not harder, than being being at the front.
Yeah.
It's a whole different kind of challenge.
No?
That's crazy.
Yeah, Alston lasagna then. So Alston YHA, I'm coming down, I'm feeling sorry for the runners behind me, and it just never comes. I just can't find this checkpoint. Like, where the fuck is it?
It's because you were thinking about the lasagna too much.
And I met this wonderful spine volunteer, was about 5 miles out from Alston, and she said, come into Anna's. And I'm like, Anna's? Yeah, come into Anna's. She lives down here. She lets spine people into her own house. And it's like this lady who's, I don't know if she's Mediterranean, but she's from somewhere different.
Wow.
But lives here, and she's just the nicest soul ever. So I get to Anna's and I'm like, I'm a bit conscious of time. I don't want to spend too much time here.
Yeah.
The checkpoint's, down the road. It's about an hour away, and I've just been up some crazy conditions. But she sat me down. She made me a hot chocolate with maple syrup.
I love maple syrup.
I'm not even joking. Like, maple syrup's like £6 a freaking small little. What do you want? Can I have hot chocolate with a little bit of honey in? Because just to clear up my throat a little bit, honey can help. Oh, I've got no honey. Will maple syrup be okay? And I'm like, what?
We love maple syrup.
And then she's making me hot chocolate. Do you want cheese and ham? I'm like, yeah. What do you mean? I'm making you a toasty. And she made me a toasty, and I'm sitting in it. I'm just on a kitchen stool, just stretching out my feet.
In someone's house?
In someone's Anna's house.
Have you got footage of this?
I've got footage,
I can't wait to see the reel.
And she was just, she felt like a motherly figure. So it was nice to just have that again, just for a bit of a motherly figure for a little while to just bring yourself back down to earth after you've piped yourself up to Action Man on the top of Crossfell.
And this is before your lasagna.
Before the lasagna.
Bastard.
I know. There was this Irish dude who was racing, and every time he bumped into me, because we were yo-yoing, it's you, you're eating again, mate. You're always eating when I see you. Yeah, I get to Alston, and like you said, this kind of whole section here is where there's the most amount of styles and gates, I think, on the whole course. And I got emotional. Last time when I did the summer, I cried at this point. Just that last 5 miles to Alston, it just goes on forever through farmers' fields, up and down stiles and through gates. It's too much.
Yeah.
And it got me really emotional in summer, where I just laid on the grass and just cried, just like I was getting lost. My GPS was just getting lost. I was like, where is it?
And I guess you can't lay down in the grass in these conditions. You wouldn't want to.
Exactly. I wanted to do the same. I wanted to lay down in the grass and cry.
Yeah.
But this time I couldn't, so I just got angry. And I'm just like, where is this freaking thing?
Yeah.
So I put my music on. My Sunto Wing earphones are dying.
Did you have a different watch this year to when you did the summer?
Yeah, I had the Sunto Vertical 2, but I also had the Chorus Vertix 2S as well.
You had them both on?
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
I ain't getting lost again.
No, and what did you have when you did the summer?
When I did summer, I did the Garmin Fenix Pro.
Garmin's maps are
Yeah,
crap.
it was the one that Lewis had, and it got me lost.
Yeah, we've been over this so many times. We say it all the time.
And I did have the Chorus with me as well.
Yeah.
It was the Chorus 2, Vertix 2, and that was great because, when the Garmin got me lost, which was quite frequent, unfortunately, in that race, I just popped over to my emergency watch.
Yeah.
But I think any race like this, take 2 watches from different brands. It's not just Garmin. Garmin have days when their servers go down.
Yeah.
So does Sunto.
Yeah.
So does Chorus.
Yeah.
Just make sure you've got like a variety of options.
That's the backup GPS. Yeah.
If you're going to invest £1,000 in a race, make sure that it's not the watch that ruins it for you, because you'll be so pissed.
Yeah.
I finally get to the checkpoint. It was brutal. I'm crying a little bit, I think, by the end of it. But not too bad. I'm just crying. I just want to get to that checkpoint. I get there. I soak up the tears, and the volunteers here were lovely. I had this gentleman. Sometimes it feels like, because you're in race mode, the volunteers can be moving a little bit slowly, and they're just trying to calm you down and get you into that headspace.
You're 80 hours in at this point. You're like 4 days in.
But what I liked about this dude, he said, take off all your clothes. And I'm like, yes, sir. And I'm taking off all my clothes. And he's bagging them all up and then putting them into the dry room. And it's so effective because the quicker you can get your clothes off, the quicker you can get into the shower, the quicker you can get to sleep, the longer time you've got to sleep. So the efficiency at Alston of the volunteers was lovely.
It's because they're all eating lasagna.
It's because they're pumped up on lasagna. But yeah, he got my kit off. He got it all dry for me. Had a good old sleep. 4 portions of lasagna. I picked up a few painkillers from the medics because of my raised metatarsal. My foot was pretty bad. Yeah, and I was ready to go again.
And from there, you've got 80 miles. Yeah. So you're coming up to 200 miles.
Let's have it, yeah. And in my head, I know this as well. So in my head, I'm like, get to 200 miles, Kings, because when you do that, like this is gonna start to feel possible after everything you've been through.
Was the Summer Spine your first time covering that distance?
The first time in the Summer Spine, the furthest I'd ran was a 50k Ultra X, and I'd done 92 miles at a backyard ultra, and I did 92 because I dropped out and couldn't make it to 100. And then I did the Summer Spine.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
You're wild.
Yeah, I know.
You are.
So
but I think you talk about that cardio experience and like if you then take the summer and then all the races you've done since, like ARC, UTS, etc., which have been arguably not great times, like hard.
Yeah.
And then going on to this, I feel like you were ready for it, like time on feet.
Yeah, potentially. It's fun if you look at my Strava. You think, look at this, like this dude's playing 5-a-side football.
Yeah, but your mileage was like 50-mile a week, like 16-mile week, 50-mile week, 8-mile week, 50. Like you were onto something, and it's the first time ever that you've messaged me and been like, I feel alright.
Yeah.
Because normally it's like, I've picked up a cold, or I've got a niggle, or I'm worried about X, Y, and Z. This was the first time you've gone to a race and actually messaged me and said, I'm ready. Yeah. Like, I'm up for it. So I was Team Kingsley the whole time.
Optimistic.
Don't worry about it. So you're now coming into, you've got 80 miles of the race left, you're full of lasagna, and you're heading to a place called Bellingham Brown Rig Lodges.
So Bellingham, checkpoint 5, officially it's like the last proper checkpoint. And you've got some real cool parts of the course here. This is obviously where Hadrian's Wall is. So you'd love this section.
I've done a bit of Hadrian's Wall before because you've got the rat race, haven't you?
Yeah, rat race is there as well, yeah. And a lot of that section is in that race.
It's up and down though,
it's up and down, yeah.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like really looking forward to it. I can't wait, but it was a bit different, that section. So leaving Alston and heading towards Bellingham, the first thing that really pissed me off was the amount of bogs. It was like, I don't know, it must have been like 20 miles of just bog. Like, I just couldn't stand it. And I was thinking about not putting waterproof socks on. In my head, I just couldn't remember. Because of the Summer Spine, it was a bit more dry. Yeah. I just couldn't remember how wet this thing was. Yeah. It was wet, bruv. And it was horrible. It wasn't the kind of bog that you can run across. It was one that sucks all of the energy out of your legs.
What do you do in a bog? What do you do to overcome a bog?
These bogs were so bad compared to the rest of the course that my shoe come off twice. Where my shoe was in the bog, I didn't know how to get it out. And Salim, so he was the guy that was in the chicken video where he's like heavily fatigued. Yeah. I'm like, Salim, wait, my shoe's gone. I'm stuck. I just couldn't get my foot out how deep I was, like waist deep in this bog, trying to lift out, and the more you push, like the more it pulls back. Yeah. And I realised that I don't know. I've had some of that. If you just go slowly, then like you're okay. Really? And rather than trying to like be Mr. Muscle and try and pull yourself out of it, just slowly pull it out, and it will just let go.
Yeah, it's like the suction, isn't it? Like
it's the suction. Yeah, if you pull it too much, I think
it like clamps down more.
Yeah, so
how bizarre.
To avoid bogs, there's lots of, again, you're trying to follow like footsteps, and basically that's where like the brambles have been like crushed down, and if you can run on a plant or a bramble, usually there's like a bit of stability under there. 100%. Your feet are still getting wet, you're still sinking like that much into the ground.
Yeah, but you're not disappearing.
You're not disappearing. And even then, you're taking some of them, they look stable. You step on, you just fall straight through.
The fear of God in me of actually disappearing, like that's what scares me. Because a bog, like if you get a deep bog.
As a kid, like dying of quicksand is like my fear.
Oh, don't! It literally gets all around my neck and like.
And I did feel like that kid fear, that childhood fear inside of me when the bog had my shoe and I was slowly sinking into it, and Mr. Salim was just stumbling off. I'm like, someone help! Help me!
I'm stuck.
in my head, I'm just thinking in this bog section, let's get to Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah.
Let's get off this shit.
Yeah. Because at least the wall won't be a bog. Like, it's fairly solid ground around there. Really slippy though with the stones and stuff. Hadrian's Wall is like, I imagine it was probably an ice rink.
It's crazy. So before Hadrian's Wall, I bump into Rasta Ralph. You know, that's where this chicken guy was, and he's got. I don't know if he owns the plot, if he just kind of rocks up there. But yeah, he was giving out soup, chicken, and burgers to runners, and he was just a very thick Yorkshireman accent, and he was wearing a Rasta hat, and he's called Rasta Ralph.
And is he like renowned?
He's like a legendary kind of like figure. Every spine guy and woman will meet him, and if you want his food, then he will offer it to you. And to be fair to him, it's like it's in such a remote area that you're not going to get a burger anywhere else. So you better take it if you want it.
You had a cheeseburger, didn't you?
I had a cheeseburger from Rasta Ralph, and real kind soul. He likes to video all of his runners and put them on his YouTube, and it was definitely an experience because
I'm gonna have to have a look for this.
Yeah, you just don't know if you don't know how much you're hallucinating. Like, is this real? Is this guy here?
I remember your video being like,
what's going on? Like, am I fucked up? So you cross the motorway after Rasta Ralph, and I got quite pissed off here because this motorway or this main road.
It says you're in Subway.
Yeah.
It literally said on the map that you were in Subway, and Subway. I thought it was like a services next to a main road. And then I've zoomed in on it, Google Maps, but like the satellite version, and and I've like texted Kingsley. I was like, "Are you at Subway?" And then I've like looked on maps and texted him back, and I was like, "No, you're not at Subway. Like, that's a farm." I don't know why it's called Subway.
So I'm like 3 miles out from Hadrian's Wall where it begins, and this motorway was just relentless. I was there for 5 minutes, and at the end I'm just like, I let out just because I just wanted to fucking cross, and there was just gridlocked traffic of cars going about.
So you have to cross the actual motorway.
Yeah, and the cars are going like 70 miles per hour. I think it's dual carriageway. I get confused on roads, but they're going quick.
And there's a footpath.
There's no footpath. There's no way you can wait in the middle. You've got to cross this thing and not get hit by cars. So I'm just there. I'm there for 5 minutes, and I'm thinking how hard I've worked to get here and shaving off time. Yeah. Poor Salim. As much as I love him, he's walked and he's going to be here in a second. Yeah. What have I run all this way for? So I was getting annoyed. Eventually, I see a pocket. My heart's pumping. Boom, 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 boom. Just go, and I go for it.
Especially considering the condition. Like, you're 200 miles in. Yeah. And you've got to cross a dual carriageway without stopping.
You're reminding yourself, look, because it's so easy to take the risk, and I was like, and I could have taken the risk.
Sleep depth, dark.
The reason I was there for 5 minutes is because I wanted to do it safely. Yeah. So when the time come, and even when the time come, it was like, if I slipped over, like, what the fuck do you do? Yeah. It was just get across this thing, stay focused, stay calm. Yeah, so...
I had no idea. I thought it was like a bridge, like a person bridge.
Yeah, I wish, honestly. So then I get to, the Hadrian Wall begin...
And were you in there in the day or in the night?
Night, it's getting dark.
Oh.
Hadrian Wall begins.
So beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I love it there.
There are a spine team there, and just before it begins, a spine team to give you a bit of water, cup of tea, and there's some biscuits and stuff there. Yeah. And there's some public toilets. And again, it's about psyching yourself up because you've spent 20, 30 miles, whatever it is, already out on the trail. Yeah. And you're just trying to psych yourself up. So I'm in the toilets, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And I'm putting on my extra layers, and I shove in some like cocktail sausages and Pringles.
More real food.
The Pringles, I can't claim that one, but they were great. They offered me some Pringles, and I took them.
What flavour were they?
They were ready salted and had sour cream as well.
I love sour cream. Texas barbecue Pringles.
I had about 4 sugars in my hot chocolate, and public toilets. It's a good time to use the toilets. No better place than to do it than out there on the trail. Celine catches me up. Colin's there as well. You'll hear more about Colin, and we set off and do Hadrian's Wall. Like you said, it's up and down. Most of you've done it and know what it is. It was more tough and difficult than I expected because of the ice. And on the descents, there's a few steep descents on Hadrian's Wall. And a few exposed areas, and it was just really icy. It was starting to get to that part of the night time, 2, 3 a.m. I don't know what it was.
I would not want to do it that time of day.
Where that ice was just like, your head torch was sparkling, it was so icy. Yeah. Colin was saying to me, Colin Harper, and we've been chatting this whole time, now sticking together because we were a similar pace. He's saying, Kingsley, if I take it slow, don't mind me. I'm a bit on edge on the descents here because of the ice. I said, don't worry, Colin, you and me both, brother, you and me both. But yeah, we got it done, and eventually I kind of leave Colin and push for checkpoint
And when you
5.
leave, like, because obviously you run with someone and then you don't, are other people like stopping and taking breaks outside of checkpoints? Like, are you coming across runners that are just like stationary? Like, you're quite far into the race now. Like, it'd be very hard to hold, like, to stay with someone for a long time.
Before you get to number 5, there's a place called Hornistead Farm, and it just took forever to come. And I left Colin because I felt like I had a bit more energy to push on, and I wanted to get to Hornistead Farm because I'd been promised food, fires, hot soup. And Hornistead Farm took forever to go. There were these wonderful signs, they're really motivational, and this is before checkpoint 5, that say, you know, you're just 2 miles away, but it's 2 miles up and down a fucking mountain.
Yeah, it's like, just less than a park run to go.
And through bogs and stuff. And that was when you got my little video on Instagram of like, what's this? like just wading through bog, and like I open up the gate, like, look at this gate, flooded.
Yeah.
I just had enough at that point. And I got to Hornistead Farm and I saw Zuki again, the guy from North Face Black Trail Runners, Arterex. He was laying on the bed at Hornistead Farm, just starfish. He just looked so happy. And I was just like, how are you sleeping? It's freezing.
Yeah.
There was no one there at the farm. Yeah. The soup was empty. There was no soup left. There were a few packets of crisps on the side. Like, I just didn't know what to do.
Oh, the devastation.
My food had run out. Like, I didn't have much food.
Your bag wouldn't be there either because it's not an official checkpoint.
And this is where my water had frozen. So my water's starting to freeze. I'm like, fuck. I'm like sucking on my...
Yeah, like holding on to it. But there's no body heat to give from your hands because you're so cold.
I just couldn't... It was ridiculous. So I stopped off, texted my mum, I'm alive, because I think it was 5 a.m. at this point that I'm at Hornistead Farm, and she's like, are you by yourself? And I'm like, yep, but you don't need to know that, mum.
Yeah, I'm okay, I promise.
And I know that it's this last push to checkpoint 5.
It's still a long way.
Yeah, so I'm pushing all these crisps in. I go and see Zuki and realise there's more food in the room next door at Hornistead Farm. I've already spent half an hour there, and I can't contact the spine team. So the rules are I have to go. I can't stay any longer. I've not been able to contact Spine. I've been there 30 minutes. Get moving or your race is...
So what, explain this rule.
The rule is if you spend more than 30 minutes stopping, let the Spine team know, because for all they know, you need the mountain rescue.
Yeah.
And if you spend more than 30 minutes, they're sending the safety team out to come rescue you.
Oh.
Now,
and if they turn up, you have to come off the course?
They're generous.
Yeah.
They just don't want you taking the piss, and it's for obvious reasons.
Yeah, of course.
And little do I know, I saw the mountain rescue team heading up to Zuki to check that he was okay, because obviously he's just starfishing, sleeping, having his 8 hours.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, I thought he was just like, I thought he was fine, just having a sleep. And in my head, the racing Kingsley's like, I'm ahead of Zuki once again.
Yeah.
And then, when I saw the mountain rescue team, I'm like, fucking hell, I hope Zuki's okay. I should have, when you hear someone sleeping, you don't want to wake him up and check they're okay. I'd be pissed off if someone woke me up.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, be quiet, he's resting, I'm going to grab my food and go. But yeah, it got really, really cold. The most cold I'd been on the course at this point.
You're almost at Scotland at this point.
And it was this mist, and it wasn't even windy, it was just this wet mist in the air, and it was freezing everything up and turning everything to ice. And I put on my music, and I just said, let's fucking go, Kings. I went for it. And I felt quite good at this point.
You've only got 30 miles left, because you're coming into that last...
Yeah, so I'm heading to Bellingham. So yeah, at Bellingham, I'd still have 43 miles to go.
43 miles to go!
So I'm running to Bellingham, and I feel good. The music's on, I've run out of water, but you know what? I've had my tailwind, and I've got some tailwind behind me. I got my dubstep tracks on. I feel good again, and it was another proud moment of myself where I was genuinely scared, frustrated, annoyed, and I'd kind of come into myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're at checkpoint 5 now.
And at checkpoint 5, it looks again like your last big stop, because after that there's only like half an hour intervals. You've been out for over 100 hours, 120 hours coming up to, and you stay there for 7. That's your last thing, yeah. Your last snooze. How tired were you at checkpoint 5?
I was really tired on some of the sections leading up to it, but that last little section with the music and stuff, and pumping in the sugar and the tailwind, I got to checkpoint 5 feeling quite chirpy.
Do you feel like you start the race and then you go through that weird battle of the race, and then towards the end of the race, it's kind of like any run ever, you settle into it.
Yeah.
And you feel like you almost like just go into this spine world where you're spining. And your body just knows you're spining now.
They call it the spine bubble. They actually do. So you go into the spine bubble and you just kind of stay there, and nothing else outside of that bubble seems to matter or even exist. It's really weird. But yeah, I get to the checkpoint and it's so funny. This lovely geezer, I sit down, the volunteers, the first thing they do is they get a drink in you to warm you up, and you know, they take your stuff off you. The woman was lovely. She said, I'm going to dry your sleeping bag now, because if you don't do it now, it will fail kit check, and you've been out there in the ice, so let's do it now. And they're helping you out because you're not cognitively fully with it. Are you charging your things? So they're just getting you ready for before you go to sleep, to make sure you don't wake up absolutely screwed. And the guy comes sits next to me. He comes sits down. And he goes, "Are you the guy with the dog-teeth testicles?" And I was just a bit out of it, like, huh? I'm like, yeah, mate, that's me. Yeah, he's like, what food can I get you? So he's just a real nice, we had a bit of a joke about it for like 10 minutes. And he turns out he knows Lisa Wright as well, who's my spine mum. So we had a bit of a joke.
And Lisa didn't fancy the winter one?
She smashed the winter one already. Yeah, she's awesome. But yeah, he got me some food and looked after me and looked after all the other runners as well. So yeah, got my sleep there. It was fucking freezing at this checkpoint. I didn't enjoy the temperature. They had one radiator in the room. And the sleeping area I don't think it had any radiators.
Oh, so it's like a cold sleep
It was like an old primary school, right?
Yeah.
It's a YHA, but it was like an old primary school hall with tents in. That's the vibe it was. And it was so cold. Someone come out there, a lovely lady that I'd kept bumping into, can't remember her name, and she went, "Don't go in there, man." She went, "Look at me," and she had like 6 layers on. Like, I woke up freezing, I was like, "I'll be okay, I'll put some extra layers on." She's like, "You don't know, man." And she was right. I put on extra layers, and even with, I had like 3 down coats on.
In your bones.
I was so cold. So I had a few like vivid nightmares in there, I think, just because my body wasn't comfortable.
And if you've gone past those other checkpoints where they've been like steamy warm, and you've had this really plush experience, it's like, fucking hell, skimped out on the last checkpoint, haven't you? Because what is this Baltic?
What is this bullshit?
Just as you think you've made it to one of these, they've moved you into a false sense of security, because all 4 other checkpoints have been warm, toasty, delightful, you've had a good snooze, and now you get to this one and you're like, what is this Arctic condition? That's Scotland for you, though.
Yeah, no, it's Scotland.
But
all the volunteers were lovely. The shower situation there was the best. You have to walk there. Fuck me, did I have to work for that shower? It was, where's the showers? Oh, it's just in that bunker over the road. What? So I'm like hobbling over there in my flip-flops and my freaking testes that are chafing.
No.
But lovely volunteers, and had a lot of jokes and smiles, and everyone was really nice.
Then you go to Burness. Now, I feel like a lot of runners were talking about this. So it was definitely covered in the documentary, like quite a lot. Because you've got Burness, but then you've also got Hut 2.
Yeah.
And it looks like this is the last, 30 hours. So it's still a day. It is a day.
Yeah, when you get to checkpoint 5, your race isn't over.
No.
Yeah, you got a lot of work to do.
You've got another 40. You've got another ultra marathon.
Yeah.
How do you compartmentalise? So you're there.
Yeah.
You're 220-ish, give or take, miles in. You've got another 43 miles to go.
Yeah. I think this was the moment when I had to put my big boy pants on, because in a spiritual kind of way, I had Lisa right with me for that first section of the race, because when we did the summer spine, she only made it to checkpoint 5, and she dropped out there because she made it there with 5 minutes to go, and she pulled out. So by on then, I was kind of by myself in the summer spine, and I don't know what it was, but it back there again, kind of dealing with that, you're on your own now. This is Kingsley from here on. I don't know. I didn't leave that checkpoint as fresh as I'd hoped. I think the sleep was rough. The food was great, and the terrain was just freaking horrible. I knew going up as well that I was going to be heading towards the Cheviot, which is the Scottish mountains, and I wrapped up tight for those, honestly. Yeah, what kind of terrain was there? Lots of forestry track.
Yeah.
It wasn't too boggy, but it was just slow-moving track, lots of forest. The Cheviots, I can remember heading to checkpoint 5.5, which is Burness. that's where the St Francis Church is, where you can sleep is, and you've got your little checkpoint there with the spine team.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm just thinking, get to that church. Once you get to that church,
Churches are cold.
You've made the race.
But churches are cold places.
The thing is, right, from Bellingham to Burness was the most emotional I'd been in the race.
Really?
Yeah.
Proper cry.
Proper cry. This was going down a fire track road, and I was telling you about that road where, you know, the road runner that couldn't run.
The road you hated, yeah.
And I looked down at my phone, and I was just thinking of people I could call, and I didn't know who to call. And the reason was because I was in such a state. This is when someone asks, "How are you?" and then you just burst into tears. And I was like, if I call you or my mum or anyone like that, they're gonna be worried. Like, where the fuck are you? Scotland in the mountains. What's up?
This is really hard. Oh, honey.
And I'm looking down at my phone, right? Just I've had enough emotionally because I can't stop. I've got to finish this race now.
Yeah.
And someone called James Taylor, who's a friend of mine from Thetford, calls me. You know, no one's called me this whole race apart from my mum, really.
Yeah.
And loads of people have left messages and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at my phone. I'm actually on my contacts list, scrolling through like, just with tears running down my face, who can I call?
Yeah.
And James Taylor calls me.
That is so spooky because I had a period where I was gonna call.
Yeah.
But you don't because you think about your phone battery and like being out and the signal and everything else. And I thought, you know, about it, and it probably must have been towards that point in the race because I remember calling you in the summer one and you being sat in that bus shelter or wherever you were.
Yeah.
So that's so spooky. So what did James say? How did he find you?
Like, how you doing, mate? And I'm like, I'm not good, bro. He's like, what's up? I was like, I'm very emotional. And he's like, why? What's up? I'm just struggling, man. So I don't know what I found amazing about James. James is a bit older than me, but yeah, he's got his head on. And he's good at kind of listening to you, but also not letting it kind of get too much. Yeah. And he was just the perfect person in the moment to call.
You need that.
And I was able to express myself.
Yeah.
I needed to express myself, but also he didn't let it get out of hand. So he just held my hand for...
No spiralling.
Yeah, no spiralling. Yeah. He held my hand for 2 miles as I head towards the church and got to the checkpoint team. Just a real nice moment, you know.
We love you, James.
Yeah, James. And I get to the checkpoint, meet the lovely photographer called Will, who I did a bit of modelling and posing for.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully his photos come out soon.
Oh, yeah.
He said he'd send me some prints. And
was this Hut 2 or was this Burness?
This is Burness, the checkpoint. The spine team got me some coffee, some hot chocolate, some soup. Yeah. They made me a sandwich. What a wonderful lady. Oh. Cheese. And she offered me cheese and mango.
Cheese and mango?
I don't know. I think I might have even asked for it. I was a bit delirious. I mean, actually, I'll just have cheese and mayonnaise.
I didn't know they had mango.
Yeah, man. They were going to give me some cheese and mango sandwiches. Or it was something crazy.
That's wild.
But you only have half an hour because it wasn't a full checkpoint. It's one of those 5.5 ones. Yeah. So leave there, go to the church, and I just really had to check in with myself because I'm about to go to the Cheviots. It's mental up there.
Yeah, Scotland.
All I've been told for 2 days is it's covered in waist-deep snow and it's crazy. And I've just spent the last 2 hours crying to myself. So I'm like, go to the church. Yes, it's cold.
Ask God for a favour.
Yeah, you need to ask God for a favour. So, I strip off at the church and put every layer on.
Said no man ever.
Yeah, say a little prayer, strip off at the church. Every layer went on, even my tights. And at this point, chafing, I don't care. Yeah. I need to stay warm in the Cheviots.
You've accepted you're not having kids at this
Goodbye, testes. Goodbye. And I crawled into all my thermals, get into my sleeping bag, and I have about 45 minutes of horrendous sleep, but I needed it just to calm the body down. Yeah. Will got some great photos of me laying in the church. So
I'm so excited because I loved the church pictures. They were so dramatic.
It's so sick. He said, "Do you mind just looking up the church symbol for me?" I was like, 100%. I'm a photographer. I know what you're doing. Yeah. Let's do it, mate. So I'm walking into the church, looking up at the cross.
Oh wow.
And I enjoyed that moment because I just needed to reset before the flames.
And what a nice moment to have captured and to know what you'd come through. Those pictures you'll look back at and be like, I was crying to James for 2 miles before that. And, I still finished this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're there. You must have a marathon to go. You must be in and around that amount left.
Something like
Because Hut 2, it's 10k from Hut 2, isn't it?
Yeah. So from I think it's 9 miles to hut 1, 9 miles to hut 2, so that's 18 miles, and it's 7 miles to the end.
Yeah, so pretty much like bang on. Bloody good guessing.
There we go. Look at you were on it. She's spine ready.
So addicted to this now. I have literally watched religiously all the YouTube series, all the Instagram updates, like obsessed.
So yeah, we're in the Cheviots. The Cheviots is an aggressive climb. You come out of the church and you hit the climb through forests instantly.
Because what's the elevation for the whole race? It's like 10. Is it 10,000?
It's up there. Yeah. I think it's maybe 12,000 maybe more. I don't know.
It's a big climb.
But yeah, you get out of the church, you cross one of the roads, and you go to the forest and head up the climb to the Scottish mountains immediately. And it doesn't like kind of level off. You're kind of just going up until you get to the top.
Scotland.
There's a bit of scrambling at the top as well. It's actually really fun because you're in the forest. You're sheltered from the elements. And it's actually just a tough climb, but that's nice.
Was there a diversion way back in Eden? No, not Edale.
Yeah,
Yorkshire Three Peaks.
Yeah, Yorkshire Three Peaks, Pennygan. They diverted it, and for good reason. That was mental. Dangerous. Yeah.
Because I've been up there before in rain, but
dangerous.
Yeah.
No, they made a real good choice there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so you climbed the Scottish hills. You're in the Cheviots, and you're heading for the huts.
Heading for the huts.
When did you get chased by the dog?
This happened ages ago, yeah. I can't even remember, yeah. I got chased by Rottweiler guys. It's actually where, it's exactly where me and Lisa got chased by a bull. And I made a story saying about this in my Instagram posts. And I manifested getting chased by a Rottweiler because with the Pennine Way, there's a lot of moments where you're not quite sure when you should or shouldn't be in someone's back garden. And at that point, I should not have been in someone's back garden. And I accidentally was. Got chased by a Rottweiler and I launched myself over a metal gate. It was like something out of... You've seen Bruce Almighty where he jumps onto the fence and he gets bitten on the butt by a dog. It was that moment.
Except you had a race pack round you, so your butt weren't getting bitten.
I tell you, I was being looked after from up high in that moment because I could have died. This 100%. Dog, I screamed. This dog was... and I let out a... It turned around and when I realised how angry this dog was, I was like, Rottweiler. Fucking turn and sprint for this gate.
Again, said no one ever. Rottweiler, nice.
So for the Cheviots, once you get onto the top, it was a nightmare. It was an absolute shit show at the top of the Cheviots. And it was exactly what the Spine volunteers and team and safety teams had warned us about. But what was crazy, it was different. I was expecting the shit snow to be snow, and it wasn't. It was ice, and it was really, really, really icy. And it was sleet coming down from the sky. And the wind was, again, this was like, it wasn't quite 70 mile per hour like the first day. It was more like...
65.
It's like 65. Honestly, it was enough to really hurt your eyeballs. So yeah, we're climbing up and I meet this wonderful guy called James who was raising money for injured and wounded veterans.
We saw him on the media thing.
From the media. And Colin as well, that I'd been obviously working with over Hadrian's Wall, had caught back up to me after my sleeps and cries. He was back on with the team and with us up in the Cheviots. We met some other people as well. Jay is, the Scouse guy that I spent a lot of time with in this whole run, and he's a real bundle of laughs. Just hurricane Scouse guy who's so funny. There was a pack of 5 of us together. And we had to work together to survive.
Yeah.
So we got to Hot 1 and there was lots of talk, lots of banter. It was just a slog, that's all it was. But we were struggling because of the distance that we'd all gone. And at this point, you just want it to be over. And when we got to Hot 1 and you see it, like, you could just cry. Like, there's a fucking hut there. We all just we let out a come on. It was so funny when we got to Hot 1 and it was actually there. And you saw the fairy lights, like glistening in the distance. You're in the middle of nowhere on the Cheviots.
Elusive hut.
And we made it and we celebrated and it felt like a real team bonding moment. It was magical. We get to Hut 1, they make us a hot drink. We're all in there it's freezing and we're all a bit tired. So we decide together, we'll get there together, we'll leave there together. Let's have a sleep. We're all tired, we could all tell we're tired because we found it hard to navigate. We're going off in different directions and stuff. And we decided on like a 15 to 20 minute sleep.
Yeah.
Now this was the worst decision that we'd made all race. We all had our little 15-20 minute sleep after our chocolate,
and the vibes.
Well, the volunteers were lovely there. It wasn't vibes; it was hypothermia, man.
Yeah.
Hypothermia had set into all of us. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I woke up like a few times, like shivering, to the point where I got my extra. I'm in two fucking fleeces again and two insulated jackets, and looking out over everyone else, thinking, "You're not in many layers, guys. Like, I'm freezing. How the fuck are you not absolutely freezing?" And Colin's freaking shaking, and the volunteer team I think they could see we need to get going.
Yeah.
We've had our little nap now.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. What are you doing?
Yeah, keep going.
So we got kicked out by the volunteer team, and rightly so, because we weren't warm in there. It was really cold. And we get going from hut 1 to hut 2 now. It's another 9 miles. And we start hiking, and we grab our poles, we're hiking up the hill, and you're trying to hike quickly and run quickly because you've got to warm up.
Cold,
we're plummeting here, and we're borderline. It's not even like we're a bit cold. It's like, this is a bit dodgy. And 10 minutes in, I'm kind of leading the pack because we're struggling with navigation, and I'm locked in with my fucking 2 watches, man. Chorus is saying go this way, Shinto's saying go this way, and the line in the middle means let's go that way.
Exactly.
I think I'd officially took on navigator for the team, because I'd noticed a few times us together as a group of 5, when other people were leading, not on purpose, that we went off in a slightly different direction or a less efficient route. So I just naturally I felt good, and I think
that experience as well.
And I've got the experience of doing the summer spine. I locked in, and I was happy to help the guys out. But I heard some like a scene happening behind me, and I like turned around, and I was like, "What's going on?" Like the boys were having a hard time, and they'd stopped, and everyone was panicking. And Colin was, I won't go into too many details, but he was suffering with borderline hypothermia. Yeah, he this Colin Harper is 61 years old. Yeah. Like, what an inspiration. And this guy was shaking and soaked to the bone. Like, the rain had gotten, sleet and ice had got through to him. And the issue he was struggling with as well is to get warm again, he couldn't keep up with the pace. Yeah. So he's having an asthma attack and like borderline suffering with hypothermia here at the same time. Yeah. And those combination of the two things, the pace we'd set off to warm up and the hypothermia setting in. I'd been chatting to Colin for a whole day at the Hadrian's Wall. This Colin that I had now was not here. He needed help. So I had to get the boys together, and I'm really proud of this moment. I was like, stand here, and I created like a little shield to get the wind off of Colin, because it was really overwhelming, that wind. Yeah. And I think he just needed to turn it off. Yeah. And I just turned off that wind for him. I think Jay was saying, take some deep breaths, and he was guiding him through the...
like trying to slow it down.
And I was just... honestly, I was just so proud of all of us, because we all looked after him, and we were suffering as well.
And you risk your own race, because standing around and being a windshield,
we were taking that wind and that cold, and we were suffering as well. Like, we were all borderline hypothermic, and we start to go on, and that next hour it was just really trying to pace it right. So we took turns. It was mostly myself, James and Jay pacing and navigating. And we just had to be careful about not pushing the pace too hard so that the boys would struggle, but also not going so slow that we'd get really bad situation. It was interesting.
Did you make it to the hut?
And there was this one point where I said, Colin, you good? He went, I'm good. And I was like, he's back. And I don't know how long that took, whether it was 45 minutes or an hour, but it was amazing. And I just felt so special, like to hear him it was just like a manly, I'm good. And just like fully respected as well, and Colin was fucking back. Let's go. But the thing is, when Colin was back, that's when King started to go. And the other boys were struggling as well. We were all fucking struggling. And I actually had to lean on Colin at this point, because Colin's a fast runner, For a 61-year-old man, he is a fucking amazing. He was leading the way towards hut 2, and he took on a lot of that kind of toll, because the wind was head facing now. I said, Colin, I'm really struggling now. Do you mind doing a bit of the navigation and just leading the way to hut 2? And the James and Jay started to fall behind, but I knew they were safe because they had each other and they were in okay condition. And so it was more now just about look after yourself.
Yeah.
We're okay. And we pushed on towards hut 2. And to be fair to Colin, he returned the favour. Like he looked after me and he pushed on hard. He knew the condition I was in.
Such a big believer in that like karma and I don't
honestly,
know, like what goes around
goosebumps.
comes around, and yours was pretty instant there. But like sometimes you need that.
Yeah, I think it was just, I'm quite good in chaotic situations. When I need to turn on and be professional, I can, and so was James, so was Jay and the other lads. Like we were professional.
But you're also stronger as a team. Like it's the whole reason that a lot of African cultures and stuff thrive off this team energy and running like as a tribe to exchange energy, and that's what that was. Like you've exchanged your energy. Fully. Whether you get the balance is 100% right or not, Colin then had enough to exchange back. It's like, oh, I've taken a bit too much energy, here's your energy back.
It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no, that's magical.
And I think that was when Colin said he was good. I think that's maybe when my brain said you can rest now.
I think that's such a good team.
Yeah, and that was when I kind of like started to lose it. But we pushed up for that last little climb towards hut 2.
And you got there.
We got there. It was brutal. The snow and the ice. It was very dangerous.
Very Scottish.
Very Scottish. But Colin led the way, and I just tried my best to keep up with him because he's a fast runner. So.
And hut 2, you get there, and there on the wall it says 2.5 park runs to go, and you must want to say fuck off.
Fuck
like
off.
What a shit thing. Like shit feedback. 2.5 park runs or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're thinking that's still like there's everything to go wrong in that 2.5. I mean, when did Eugenie, when did he drop out?
Probably hut 2, probably about
and
there.
Just went from like leading the race 20 miles ahead to falling away from the finish line 6 miles short. Like, I just don't know how you process that.
It's and Colin was joking about it as well, and he said, this would be the most disastrous DNF ever. Can you imagine if I don't get past hut 2, if I can't get past that, and how close we are right now? Like, mate, it would be horrible.
Too many races where it's like the last 5k and you tell yourself that famous, how many times have I done 5k? How many times have I done 5k? And then it just seems to drag, or like the last mile in a race, and like you almost lose that grip you have on yourself, and your emotions get the better of you. And you saw me, my first ever marathon, hyperventilating like half a mile from the finish, and we actually had to stop.
We did.
And then we lost our sub 4.5 hour time that we wanted because I was sat down breathing, like, or not breathing. So like you're never really, until you're over the finish line, you're never really clear. It's anyone's game out there, and you're in Scotland with 50 to 60 miles under your belt. So how did it feel coming down from hut 2, that last descent?
So I'm in hut 2. I'm thinking about my strategy here. Do I stay with the boys or do I go?
Do I stay or do I go now? That one.
And I really just wanted to have the last little moment for myself. And so I said that to the lads. I said, I won't lie, I'm probably going to spend like 10 to 15 minutes here, get a hot drink in, some food. I'm just going to go for it, put some music on, and I'm going to enjoy that last section. When I did the summer spine, I ran most of it. So it's not really runnable. But when you've got the last section to go, and despite the pain, you just find that extra gear to be like, despite the pain, the more I run, the quicker this will be over. And I actually looked at my splits. Sorry, Anna Truth, but I think I did hut 2 to Kirkgetham a bit quicker. And I'm sorry. I might be wrong actually on the statistics. Don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty happy with my hut 2 to the finish line performance.
Descent,
it was still quite tough on the descent, so I put my ice spikes back on, just because I didn't want to, like you say, in the last couple of miles you slip and just crack your ankle or something. So I sat down, put my ice spikes on, and just stayed safe until the end. But the music was blaring, and I tell you what, I was starting to sweat a lot because I was in my 7 layers from the mountains, and you're starting to descend down to the village now. And I had to stop a few times and just peel back the layers. And if you see my race finish, I'm literally finishing in like one t-shirt and a fleece. So slowly putting it back.
But the thing for me, as someone that really struggles with my feet, is you finish this race with no blisters. What the fuck? What are you doing to those feet?
Talc powder works great, genuinely. I did do some trail skin pre-pep. The last 2 weeks leading up into the race, I applied trail skin to my feet, pretty much every night, just with some socks.
I'm gonna have to have a go
Just,
at this.
just to kind of soften them up a little bit. That was sworn to me by Dawn, who I'd met at UTS, Snowdonia. So I thought I'd give it a go.
I've got to do something, because for Lakeland, that is my fear. My fear is the state of my feet.
I was joking with the trail skin team, but I might try my testicles next. And 2 weeks before the race, just lather those bad boys up in trail skin.
It's not like Tiger Balm, and it doesn't have that burn to it. You just don't need that.
But the trail skin helps. The talc kind of dries up that moisture, and I put that both in the sock and in the shoe.
So trail skin, do you put that on, you wear it like a...
It's like a barrier, yeah. It's like a...
It like builds up.
A little bit like Vaseline, but less kind of squidgy.
But you were putting it on the run up to the race.
To the race, yeah.
I'm going to have to do the same. Literally, I'm so desperate.
Oh yeah, I gave you and Rob some actually when we did the...
that was the little like white one,
the white one, so you can...
That was really good for your legs.
Yeah, because you were having like, was it bra rub or whatever it was?
That was exactly what it was. Yeah, it was the race pack. It was just where my race pack said a sports bra on in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was uncool.
And you got sensitive skin, so the trail skin was
sensitive skin.
Trail skin seems to be alright with that, which so maybe it's worth giving a go.
No, 100%.
But blisters, what else did I do? Waterproof socks was new for me this year. I didn't do 2 layers.
Do they work?
Yeah, they're fucking amazing.
Because I thought that like the water would get in and it would be like Gore-Tex shoes, like it gets in, and then once it gets in, because it's waterproof, it doesn't dry.
What's worse than having wet feet is having feet exposed to minus 16 degree temperatures. Yeah. So what it does is, even if that water gets in, your feet will warm up that water, a bit like the ice bath. You get that little barrier. It'll warm up the water inside the sock, and you stay cozy.
Your internal sock temperature is warmer.
Yeah, so
funny.
Yeah, the only time I wore 2 pairs of socks was coming out of the church, heading up to the Cheviots. I put on a sock liner, which was merino wool, and waterproof socks. My shoes were pretty tight, and even then, my feet were just okay. They weren't even warm.
You don't even think about that, do you? Like, you've pointed out a couple of things. Your water bottle freezing.
Yeah.
And, something like that, like your feet and your hands and your eyes. Like, they're all things. Hands you think of.
Race ending stuff.
You don't think about feet. You don't think about your eyewear. Like, the goggles is beyond me. Like, I never would have even considered that.
I should have thought about it more. I wish I put anti-fog stuff on my glass. I just didn't think about it enough.
So much more goes into it than you realise.
Yeah.
So you've come down, you're down to your pants, your balls are knackered, you're knackered, it's 260 whatever miles.
66 miles or something.
Yeah, and you see the finish line.
Yeah. So running down towards the finish line, it's really tough because again it becomes runnable, but you're broken. You've run nearly 300 miles, so you're on these like very runnable tracks, and you're turning the gears. You're chucking coal into the fire, and just nothing's coming out. And but the pain, the pain to reward, the reward is so low.
Yeah.
But that finish line, so that's when I'm like, do I get a little video here? Because I regretted that from the summer spine. I have this pixelated video. Just wanted a HD video of me finishing the spine. So that's why...
I love the video. It literally made me so emotional, like tears watching it. Because like to see someone that you care about so much, like overcome everything that you'd been through was just, it was honestly, I'm gonna cry again. It was amazing to watch, and it's just so unbelievably proud of you.
I appreciate it. I was inspired by that Andy Glaze guy who does all those ultra marathons, and he films quite a lot of it. And I liked that he filmed even the moments he cried. And I did even think about that, but to be honest, it would have felt a bit too fake. I was so emotional on that fire track. But for this moment, whether I cried or not, I wanted to capture that finish line moment. So I got the camera ready. I know that soon I'm going to turn a corner and see Kirk Yetham. And I just see it. And that response is genuine. Like, fuck me.
It
exists. Like, you just don't know what exists anymore. Is this race of pain ever going to end? And you're like, fucking hell, because every corner you turn, you're like, oh, it's just around here.
Yeah.
And in my head, it was just one corner. I get off the Cheviots, I turn one corner, and I'm at the finish. I had like 2 miles to go still. And like to actually see it, Oh, it felt so good.
Yeah, it felt so
Goosebumps again.
Me too.
Oh,
And then you're a winter spine finisher.
Yeah. So you get to the finish, you kiss the wall, they interview you, and I felt a little bit like Forrest Gump. Like, they're trying to interview you, you've not slept, you've run nearly 300 miles, and it's just like, what do you want to say? And it's like, I want to go home now. Think I'm done running now.
Where does the kissing the wall tradition come from?
I don't know. If you do know, leave it in the comments.
Yeah, please, someone tell us. We need to. I feel like I'm meant to be the spine expert, and I don't even know where that comes from.
From a psychological perspective, I can understand the passion and emotion you get, like that wall and that symbol of because you're trying to get to the border pub or the border hotel pub, and that's the wall of the pub to signify the end of the Pennine Way.
It's next to a defibrillator. Every picture is so funny.
And it is funny, isn't it? So I think it's just that symbolic moment of getting to that wall is so emotional for people that you'll go to kissing it because you've just dreamt of this moment for some of us it's 3 days. Yeah. Okay, Jack's got 3 days.
Literally, all right, son.
For some of us it's a week, and for some people they walk the trail and take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month to do it.
A finisher of the winter spine.
Let's fucking go.
So thinking back to being in Edale and what scared you, what you thought was going to scare you and what you thought you were going to look forward to, was that how it happened? Or, what you feared with the waterfall actually feels like, from what you've said, was a massive high.
Yeah.
And actually the low sounds more like, oh my God, is my mate about to die of hypothermia? Am I about to die of hypothermia?
Yeah.
Sounds more like the bit that you hadn't even thought of in the beginning.
And even that, like once we'd finished, you can look back and laugh, like, oh, how funny, we're all up dying of hypothermia. Yeah. But in the moment, it is so serious.
Yeah. And the bogs and the gates. It sounds like you had bigger nemesis with the boggy gates.
Yeah, I think for me it was actually, I was okay with the crazy conditions. It was the bogs that you don't get to train that much here, and it was taking a lot out of my body. Yeah. And I really realised that I would leave a checkpoint feeling so strong, but what those bogs would do to my body would break me down so much. Yeah. And maybe that's something I can train more. Yeah. And I didn't expect it to affect me that much, if I'm honest. The bogs really fucked me up.
And I know we talk about controversial snack packing.
Yeah.
Because your pre-race vlog has caused much controversy in the running world with pepperonis, fridge raiders, cheese. What was your favourite snack?
The Kendall mint cake. That was my favourite snack. Yeah. It wasn't as intense as the gels. Obviously, it's a lot of carb. It's just carbohydrate. It's pure sugar. Yeah. But there's something about the texture and the taste. It's got salt and electrolytes in there as well. I really looked forward to it, and it made me feel fucking amazing. The Kendall mint cake was the best snack I packed.
That's not what I expected you to say. Is there any advice if someone's listening to this now and they're thinking, I want to run the spine?
Yeah.
Like, what would your advice to them be? Like, in a nutshell, like, just like one little tip. If you're not allowed to tell them anything else, you're allowed to give them one tip. Yeah. What would it be?
If you want to do the spine, I would say don't race it, just embrace it. There we go.
I like it.
Because that's the only way I finished it the first time. When I did the summer spine, I didn't race it. I embraced the experience. I stuck with Lisa Wright and some other people I met along the way. And
it looks like you learnt a lot from it, because your tactics this time were so different.
You learn a lot.
A lot more sleeping, resting. Like you say, sleep dep is used in torture methods. So
yeah, exactly. So
don't let it get you.
If it's your first time, do not race it, because the wheels will come off. Just embrace the experience, meet those people, learn from those people, and take it easy. And there are shorter spine distances you can do if you don't want to jump into the full thing, but Abs, you're doing the full one.
But obviously with 3 days now, or coming up to 3 days after you finish the race, and how are you feeling?
I've got a walking stick now. I've adopted my granddad's walking stick.
It's hanging on the door.
It's hanging on the door.
It is literally like a wooden hook. walking stick.
I had the first night I slept great. The past 2 nights, so the second night was horrendous. I was, you know, have you ever had sleep paralysis before?
No, I've heard about it though.
So I can struggle with sleep paralysis, but usually you are asleep when you wake up with sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
I've never had this before when you're awake and go into sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
And that was I've had that yesterday. It's the scariest fucking thing.
Is this the thing? Is there a demon, or are you just?
I don't
stuck?
know. I felt like there was a demon trying to kill me.
Yeah.
So sleep paralysis. Usually you wake up and your body's still in REM sleep.
Yeah.
So basically all of your muscles are turned off,
Yeah.
but your mind is fully conscious, but you're slightly in that dream state.
Yeah.
But with this heavy amount of sleep deprivation, you know, 8 hours in a week or whatever it was. Yesterday I was awake going straight into sleep paralysis, so going straight into REM. I've never had that before,
really
and
scary.
I thought I was going to die.
Oh, darling.
Because I was just in bed, and all of a sudden my heart rate drops, like it just like fully drops, and then I'm like falling asleep. But my brain's still awake, and I'm like, fuck, don't fall asleep. Yeah, you're about to die, bro.
What the fuck?
But then you try and move your body, I'm like, So yeah, I had that yesterday. That was great.
Okay, so you're living the dream is what I'm hearing.
You're waking up in pools of sweat. Yesterday, I slept for about 6-7 hours, but I had about 1.5 hours, like, was the longest I slept for before I wake up again. And yeah, just waking up that first kind of half an hour, just learning to walk
And
again.
what does the recovery look like? So, like, in the time now, like,
Yeah.
when do you anticipate being back to training? Like, what are you sort of thinking in regards to recovery?
I reckon I should be able to walk. Today was a good day. Poor Avi's shaking. It's so cold in here.
Fucking freezing.
Yeah, I reckon I'll be able to walk again a bit more normally in a day or two. I think I'll be able to walk properly next week. Within 2 weeks, I'll head out for my first very slow 5K with a bit of walking. And yeah, once you start walking, things are quite quick after that. It's just learning to walk.
Mobility-wise, are you, like, is there stretching? Are you doing hot-cold therapy? Like, what are you eating? Is there certain, like, what are you thinking recovery-wise? Are you using heat packs?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good question. I'm not doing any ice baths. I'd love to. I just haven't got the time or energy. I will hit the sauna.
Yeah.
What I did last night, I did lots of massage ball rolling. And I have this kind of like little Chinese wooden massage foot
I've got
thing.
one of them, yeah.
And I was just sitting watching Traitors on Netflix or
Yeah.
BBC iPlayer, massaging my feet. And I put this heat rub on, right?
Yeah.
It's from Ultimate Performance. You know, the team over at Ultimate Performance are really generous to me. They send me lots of products to test, and I probably should have done a lot more videos for them than I really have done. So fair play to them. They sent me this massage rub about 2 years ago.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I put it on last night, and fuck me, it's called heating lotion.
Yeah.
And I woke
Did you
up
get
about
heated?
fuck me. I put it on at first. I'm like, this is shit. Like, where's my tiger balm?
Yeah.
Right? And then, like, half an hour later, I'm like, oh, it's getting a bit spicy. And I check the back of the packet, and it's like 5% capsicum or whatever. So just pure chili.
Okay.
My feet were burning for like 3 or 4 hours.
But in a good way.
I would say in...
In a
It's right on
medium way.
right in the medium way. Yeah, it was good, but I put too much on. I didn't realise how hot it would get. I just like, this isn't
If
really...
you could see the fear in his eyes right now as he's saying this to me.
I was like, this isn't hot, put on a little bit more, that's a bit better, this is more like my tiger balm. An hour later, I'm like, how do I get this shit off? I'm in the fucking bathroom wiping off this fucking performance
Capsicum
lotion.
chili from your feet.
Wiping off this feet lotion, like, oh my God. And it just burnt me for 4 hours. It ended up being in a good way, but I've learnt my lessons there. That shit works. Like, if you want a massage, get yourself some of that oil.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. I was itching to have this conversation, so I'm super glad that we've caught up and I've heard the whole spine story.
You got the full story.
Yeah, get to spread it with everyone else, because I know loads of people will have had questions like regarding your experience and just want to know like what happened.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice that we've got this little time capsule now of what happened. Also, huge news around my first park run while you were gone.
Oh my God, the first park run, how did it go?
Second female, mate.
3.12 miles, yeah?
Yeah, my
And,
first park run.
What track did you do?
It was in Wales.
In Wales?
Yeah.
Second female?
Yeah.
Hey.
It had a fucking mountain at the end.
Yeah.
But it was our friend's stepdad, he's a volunteer.
Okay, oh, wicked.
So he was like, we were staying and he was like, oh, we'll go to parkrun. So we all went. And I've never done a parkrun before, but I've like got a little picture with the sign and everything.
Yes, I love it. Did you enjoy the sprints? Yeah. The Thetford one's really good as well.
We're going to start, we've decided to, I've got the app.
Yeah, nice.
And we're going to like, do all the parkrun tours and like the challenges.
Can we promise one thing? Because I've not done the Great Yarmouth one yet, and it is the hardest parkrun in the UK.
Is it?
Because it's on the beach and it goes up a hill. So lots of YouTubers do it. It's like they drive all the way to Great Yarmouth.
Do they really?
Yeah, which for us is obviously our backyard.
That's hilarious.
And it's to test out the hardest parkrun in the UK.
Okay,
so
huge.
We'll have to do that and do like a summer seed it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Really, and I'm thinking actually that the reason I brought it up is because if we were to do parkrun like in the next couple of weeks, I feel like I'd be able to beat you. So I feel like we need to do it now while you're still crippled. But yeah, no, it was huge. I absolutely loved it.
No,
so yeah, parkrun's my new thing, by the way. So watch out for updates on that. But yeah, thanks for this.
No, it's
I really,
okay.
Honestly, I've loved this. I'm gonna cry again. But yeah, no, this was 10 out of 10.
Thank you. And thank you for everyone to listen to Active Ideas Always, the Spine at Winter 268 mile edition.
Yeah, with our very own in-house winter spine finisher.
Let's have it. Let's go.